Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for the Tech Guy is provided by CacheFly. CacheFly.com. Hi, this is Leo Laporte, and this is my Tech Guy podcast. This show originally aired on the Premier Radio Networks on Sunday, December 1st, 2013. This is episode 1036. Enjoy. The Tech Guy podcast is brought to you by Ting.com. Ting is a mobile phone service that makes sense. You'll save money with Ting, pay for what you use, and you don't need a contract. Plus, Ting offers unlimited devices on one account. To save $25 on your first Ting device, visit techguy.ting.com. And by Gazelle, the fast and simple way to sell your used gadget. Find out what your used iPhone, iPad, or other Apple product is worth at gazelle.com. Well, hey, how are you today? Leo Laporte here, the Tech Guy. Time to talk about computers and the internet, home theater. What else? Oh, digital photography, smartphones, and all that jazz. First day of December means, well, I guess we ought to be talking about holiday gift giving. Hanukkah's already here. Christmas is coming. Kwanzaa, Festivus, and the celebration of the vernal equinox, or what? No, that's spring. Winter solstice. How about that? Is coming. That's it, I think. And the dance of the Wookiees. Is that it? All right.
Festivus.
I mentioned Festivus. I wouldn't leave Festivus out. Actually, you can search for Festivus on Google, and you'll get a Google Festivus doodle, Festivus, which was a holiday invented on Seinfeld. And if you search for Festivus on Google, apparently there's something involving an aluminum pole, and that is on the left-hand side of your search results. Festivus for the rest of us. It was, what wasn't it? George's father's holiday? I think it was. 8888, ask Leo. Yes, it's the first day to open the Advent calendar. My daughter's been asking me for a week. Is it December 1st yet? It's December 1st, honey. She's only 21. It's understandable. The kids get so excited about this. You put chocolate in front of somebody and then say you can't open it till the 1st of December and only one a day. That's just asking for trouble, I think. I think that's just setting somebody up for failure. 8888 Ask Leo is the phone number we could talk about. There's certainly a bunch of new smartphones on the market today. You know what I got and I was very pleased and surprised with is, and I know I'm late to the game on this, but the Kindle Fire HDX. It took me a while to get one because Amazon was back-ordered on these. I paid a little bit of attention to this because I saw a review from the folks at DisplayMate who typically every year look at screens and review them for color accuracy. Maybe not something everybody cares about. Probably not something everybody cares about. But they do. And if you're a photographer, you might. A filmmaker, you might. But every year they do a shootout looking at all the tablets to see who has the better color reproduction. And lo and behold, the iPad mini came in last place. Last place. Distant third place behind they call it innovative displays on the Kindle Fire HDX 7 and the Nexus 7. They say the best display in the small tablets out there is the display in the Kindle Fire HDX. So I had to get it. I said, well, wait a minute. I gotta check that out. You probably wouldn't notice the difference, to be honest with you. You probably wouldn't. But if you look at the graphs, see, this is something that happens in the tech industry. There's benchmarks, there's these synthetic tests of speed, of color reproduction, and so forth. And these are not, they're objective, which is, is certainly from a point of view of a journalist is important because it takes all personal taste out of the picture and just gives you a raw number. This is, 10% faster than that. And we've had to do that because otherwise, I might say, well, I happen to like Google stuff better, so, or I happen to like Apple stuff better, so. Nevertheless, I've got to say, really what matters is how it looks, right, to you. It is subjective ultimately. If you feel like, and I'll say this much, they're all about the same speed. They're all about the same quality of screen. I have an iPad Retina with mini display and loves it, even though in the testing it's not as good as a less expensive tablet from Google, the Nexus 7. It's not as good as the much less expensive tablet from Amazon, the Kindle Fire. The Kindle has some disadvantages. It is an Android device, but it's a Amazon Android device. They took all the Google-ishness out of it. They don't even mention the word Android. They've made it really a front door to Amazon, which is probably why they advertise it so heavily on the front door of Amazon. The most wished-for product on Amazon, they say. Most wished for by whom? Well, I know, maybe Amazon. It is a bestseller. The Kindles consistently sell well. And at $229 for the 16-gig Wi-Fi, compare that to $499 for the same in an iPad Air, and you can see that's a big difference. $200 difference, $270 difference. It's less than half as much. And it is better in some respects. I like it if you're in the Amazon universe, if you buy stuff on Amazon, if you watch movies and TV from the Amazon store, you know, the streaming store, if you read Kindle books, it's a good choice. And they do have an Amazon app store that has many of the same apps. You know, I use Evernote. It's got that. Flipboard's got that. The chess game that I use has got that. It has some other interesting features. I have to say the Mayday feature is the most interesting. If you're giving a tablet this holiday season to somebody who's never had a tablet or never even had a computer, somebody who's perhaps a little scared of technology yet wants to join the revolution, this is a good choice. This Mayday button, right on the front of the device, you press it, and you connect to an Amazon expert. They're quite nice and quite helpful and quite real, which surprised me. We called and said, help me, I need to lock my screen. Got a very nice woman who was very clear in her instructions. And the thing is, you're on the tablet looking at a picture of her, and she says, okay, you see up there, up in the upper left-hand corner, you see that? Pull that down. And it's right there. They can even take control of the tablet. So that's the Mayday feature, and I think that's pretty neat. In fact, I'm surprised Apple didn't introduce that. That's Apple's pitch, right, is the computer for the rest of us. This is pretty impressive. Very gorgeous display. Very high pixel density display. Now, I didn't get the 7-inch. I got the somewhat bigger one, the 8.9-inch. That's more expensive. And actually, I should compare that really to the Air, which is $379. So it's only $120 less than the Air for the Wi-Fi version. But it's lighter. It's 13.2 ounces instead of a pound for the Air. It's got a good fast processor. Again, I don't think benchmarks matter so much, but it certainly keeps up. Maybe not quite as fast on paper as the Apple. Better screen. It has an 8-megapixel camera. I don't know if you... Please don't take pictures with tablets, please, folks. I beg of you. Everybody does it these days. They're big. They get in the way. You're at a wedding, you're taking a picture with a tablet, you're blocking. It's like wearing a giant hat. But if it's all you got, and you know the nice thing about taking a picture with a tablet is you see it full size. You know what you're getting. It's great for shooting video. I admit it. I do it a little bit. So the 8.9, I think this is something you should look at. What it's not is a content creation device. It doesn't have the broad range of apps the iPad does. It certainly doesn't have a lot of the music apps, the music creation apps, the synthesizer apps. It is really for somebody who wants to consume content. Yeah, you can do your email on it. Very much like it on an iPad. You have a calendar and a contact list. There's no phone, of course. But you could use Skype on it. It has Facebook. It has Pinterest. It has, Twitter. And mostly it has Amazon. It has the Amazon stores. I think it's a very nice choice, and I apologize for not really including it in my roundups in the past. Having spent some time with it now, I find myself lying in bed watching The Sopranos on it, because that's where I purchased The Sopranos, is on the Amazon streaming store, and it's just nice. And that's why I don't mind having a smaller memory footprint. I think the 32 gig. They only go up to 64, but The 16 gig is the cheap one. That's $379. But since you'll stream a lot of video, Apple, it's really kind of unfortunate. I bought the Wire on iTunes, and I have to download that, several gigabytes of video, and store it on my iPad. So you do need the storage on the Apple. You don't need it so much on the Amazon. I think there's some pretty good choices out there. If you want to ask some questions, I'm here for you. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. It's time to do a Ting ad. Ting is, of course, the company that we talk about a lot that was created by my good friend Elliot Noss over at Two Cows, because he said, I don't like how phone companies are run, and I can do better. And you can with Ting.com. In fact, I invite you to go to techguide.ting.com. First of all, they're reselling Sprint service, so I should tell you that if Sprint works well in your neighborhood, that's the kind of service you're going to get. But there is no contract. There's no early termination fee. In fact, they'll even rebate you some of your early termination fee. They call it their ETF relief program. If you come to Ting, they'll give you credit for up to 25% of your ETF, up to $75 a device. If you purchase your device through Ting, port your number, then submit your final bill with your ETF from your previous carrier. Ting.com/ETF if you want to know more. You could buy new phones. They have got all the big names. You don't have to get an S3. You can get an S4. Oh, they do have an S3. Look at there. There you go. You could get the S3 or the HTC One. You can also get a Moto X. You can get the S4. You can get the Note 3. Now, here's the deal on this. Oh, look, they have the red. Ooh, the red HTC One for $434. That's a good deal. Now, here's the deal on this. You can also buy used. Now, see, that would be the way to get probably a real deal on a phone. Or you can bring your own. In some cases, if you have an existing Sprint device, you can activate it with Ting. Read up on it at techguy.ting.com. What do you get? No bundling. No ride-along services. You basically pay for what you use, no more. There is never an overage charge or a penalty. No add-on charges either. With Ting, you pay $6 per month per device, as many devices as you want on a single shared plan. And with that $6 a month, you get free voicemail, caller ID, tethering, hotspot. Yes, tethering and hotspot, free. Three-way calling, call forwarding. No add-on charges. And then you simply pay for the minutes, the text messages, and the minutes and the data that you use. The online control panel always keeps you in the know about what's going on. You never have to guess. And their support is second to none. No hold customer support. When you call during business hours, a real customer rep empowered to solve your problem will take the call and stay on the line with you till it's fixed. Help.ting.com is great too. Active customer forums, video tutorials and startup guides and more. techguy.ting.com. Save money, better manage your mobile phone usage, and get $25 off your first Ting device when you use our website, techguy.ting.com. I hear from people all the time who are saving big bucks with Ting. Ting, ting, ting. Yeah, these are not subsidized. So you always pay for the phone, I promise you. The question is whether you pay by the monthly fee or whether you pay a unsubsidized cost. And so you're right. Ting phones do cost more up front because there's no contract. They're your phones. They're your phones. You can watch The Sopranos on the iPad. It's the only other device that has Amazon streaming. It's very frustrating that Android does not have Amazon streaming. And I think, I don't know if that is, Amazon put Kindle everywhere. So I don't have my, how can I get that? Let's see. It's ME5, right? Hey, there it is. There it is. And then I need to put the chat room there. Don't know.
No, it needs to be an 8. It's not. It's a routing thing. It's a video hub thing.
Oh, you have to do it in the video hub.
Yeah, I haven't done it.
Oh, it's not an 8.
Yeah.
Ah, that's why.
Yeah.
I see. I can do that. Yeah. I'll do it.
It was usually it's something I remember to do.
You just forgot.
I like to.
I don't use that overhead shot as much as I.
When you come in, I like to have 24.
I love having the overhead. If we had enough channels, I'd put it there. Dvorak, Snell, and Casey Newton today. Ah, that sounds like a good twit. I say that as if I had no idea, because I don't. I'm always surprised. They don't tell me ahead of time.
And the document is blank at this point.
Yeah, because Chad's on vacation.
Is he not back today?
Oh, maybe he plans to do it. I don't know. You think I follow this stuff?
He's on the schedule to do it today.
That's fine. If the document stays blank, I can live with it. I don't know about our guests because they,
Well, I just need to
especially
know
Casey, because I don't think
how many
Casey's.
avatars and how many chairs to set up and cameras.
Got it. Well, Dvorak will be in, I'm sure. Jason probably will be in. Can't speak for Casey Newton. Let me see where Casey's based. He's probably in San Francisco. I don't know.
Well, we'll keep our eye on the doc. We got plenty of time.
He's at CNET. I mean, CNET's, but you never know with these guys. They could be anywhere, right?
Well, like I say, Chad is in the doc, so hopefully at some point he'll give us a...
Oh, he's in there. Okay. Former senior writer. Now is he? Where is he now? Is he at the Chronicle? Oh, he joined the Verge, so he might be in New York. He might be in New York.
We can accommodate just about anything.
Used to be at the Chronicle, so I think he probably, unless he relocated, he is the tallest reporter covering Silicon Valley. So I hope he doesn't come in, because he'll make me look short. I don't want to look short.
How do we know that fact?
It says
Why is that
so.
his claim to fame?
It says so. It says so in the press release.
I love it.
Yeah.
How tall is he?
Hey, John. Somebody made a good point. I should be in the upper right-hand corner because I'm blocking the new stuff. Is there any way I can be in the upper right-hand corner? Is that a different template? And do you know off the top of your head how to? It's probably only the Gumple. The Flowmaster is the only guy.
The Gump.
We have to make a template. These are templates from New Tech.
I would guess there's another positioning.
I have to look at all the various...
Oh, look, somebody's already doing it. Burke has already run in there.
Burke, don't mess with the TriCast.
No, it's okay, Burke. Kino, let's look at these here. Do they have an Octobox? I think they do now. You could, wait a minute, we'll go back one. I could be on a news set.
Go back up.
I could be on a news set. See that? Whoa. Newsline.
Let Leo drive.
Oh, okay. How about Newsline? Now, if I double click this, will it suddenly do it? No, I'm not choosing it. I just want to look at it. We really want a simple one, don't we?
It's affecting what's in preview. So what's in...
Let me just look and find one, and then I can tell you.
Yeah, so let me tell you what you're...
Can I be standing next to it? See, all of them are lower right. None of them are lower left. None of them are upper right. Upper left would probably be the best. Yeah, before I had all this help, I knew every button on the TriCaster, but it was a much simpler TriCaster. It was a $5,000 TriCaster.
You've confused yourself.
This is like how much is this TriCaster?
How much is the TriCaster?
$30,000?
They're not listening.
Yes, Chris Marquardt, photo review. Oh, he's Chris Marquardt. Is he? How about we add a little transparency? We could be a blue screen, huh? Okay, HH. Let's get the show on the road. Leo Laporte, the tech guy helping you spend your holiday dollar, or franc, or lira, or euro. There is no franc or lira anymore, is there? 8888 Ask Leo. That's the phone number. Heather Hammond is the phone ranger. She's answering the phones and helping us pick the callers. I'm going to blame you. I'm going to blame you for this. Who should I? That's mean, isn't it?
I'll take it.
The pressure's
Fine.
on. The pressure's on.
We haven't had my 90-day review, so.
Okay, you want to have it right now? A+.
Aw.
Well done.
Cool. Well, I like Chuck and Camarillo because it's very seasonal question.
All right. Hey, Chuck, Leo Laporte, the tech
Leo.
guy. Hey.
How you doing today?
I'm very well. Welcome to the show.
Happy Thanksgiving and happy birthday.
Thank you.
Hey, listen, I have a request. The last couple of years, I've listened to you forever, but the last couple of years you got me motivated, and I went ahead and taken all my DVDs, all my videos, transferred them over to DVDs. These are all family-valued photos.
Oh, good.
Now I want to put them on a portable DVD drive or portable hard drive.
Yeah.
To give to the kids who are young adults now for Christmas. And this pictures from when they were small all the way up.
What a great idea. And how big is the total collection?
I have a total of 30 DVDs, and they're all VOB files when I look at VOBs.
Yeah.
Is there a program that I can put them in, and then they can just play them on their portable?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. There's a couple of things you could do. So, 30 DVDs. Did you make double-sided or single-sided DVDs? Probably single-sided.
Single-sided.
Yeah. So we're talking. You could just get a 150 gig hard drive. Is that right? 30 times 5 is 150 gigs. Yeah. So you could any hard drive these days, 250 gig or up, would hold it.
Right.
There's two ways you can go. Yes, you could put a DVD player, because if you copy the DVD directly over, you'll get not just VOB files, but index files, TS files, and so forth. And you need all of them to emulate what you get when you put the DVD in the drive, the menu and all of that.
Right.
So that's one way to do it. And then what you'd do is you'd have a folder for each DVD, and you'd have at the top level a player. And that certainly would do it. The other, and there are a lot of different players you can get. VLC is free, not super user-friendly, but one of the nice things you could do with VLC is make a playlist of all of the DVDs, all 30 of them, so you could have a VLC launch when they put in or they boot the disc. You could see VLC, you run it, and you'd get a menu of everything that's on the disc. Kind of not an attractive menu, but a menu. Or you can, so that's one way, which is unchanging the disc, just copying them directly. The other way you could do it is to rip the discs using something like Handbrake, turn them into MPEG-4 files. That's maybe going to be a little bit more convenient for the kids, because then they can put those on, their iPads or media players or whatever. The VOB files would have to be converted.
Right, and I've done that before. It's time-consuming, and I've had difficulties.
So it depends on how much work you want to do up front for them. I think the easiest thing to do is just to have a folder for each DVD, copy all the files from the DVD, and then have at the top level VLC from videoland.org. It's free, and it can play any of those folders as if the DVD with the menus and everything, as if the DVD's in the disc.
Great. That sounds perfect for me. As I can make each disc. It spans over a couple of years or a year period.
What a nice idea. Do you have slideshows, do you have them? How much?
No, they're videos. It's
all videos.
I mean, I have stuff from 16 millimeter when my dad had it. I have R8 millimeter for the last 25 years, and now the kids are grown and married, and it's time to hand it off to them. And I have these DVDs, and listening to you, I know they're not going to last. So.
Yeah, you want the video TS folder, and you could put it right on the hard drive as long as you have a player there. Many computers come with DVD players that could also play it. If they have Macs, for instance, the Mac will be able to play it with a DVD player that comes with the Mac. It's pretty straightforward, but I think that's a wonderful gift. I love that idea.
Yeah. And putting something like that on, and I heard you yesterday mention putting them on YouTube as private. That would be pretty intense, though.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Not with that much data. It would take a long time. The other thing, by the way, you don't have to give them a hard drive. Somebody in the chat room is pointing out you can get 128 gigabyte USB drives. They're a little pricey, but you could give them it could be a stocking stuffer. What you want to think about, first of all, it's going to be a great gift. It's going to work fine, and everybody's going to be able to use it, Mac or PC. You could put versions for both VLC, Mac and PC on the computer, on the disk. But what they may also want to think of down the road is the ability to play it forever. And at that point, they may want to convert it to an MPEG-4, something that is a file format that'll be around. There'll always be VOB players because there'll be DVDs will be around for a while.
Right.
Yeah. I think it's a great project.
Hey, well, thank you
done.
very much.
Yeah.
And I just want to let everybody know how hospitable you and Lisa are for when we've been up.
Did you come visit?
I came and visited you about a year and a half ago, and I'm somebody that left you a hat.
Oh.
That hat is a ballistic helmet.
Oh, I love my hat. Oh, so I know who you are, Chuck.
Yeah.
I know who you are now. I won't reveal your secret super identity. But it's very nice to meet you or see you again, talk to you again. We have an open studio here. Anybody wants to come visit and hang out? We almost always have people watching the shows. It's crazy to do that. You're in law enforcement. You know what a nut I am.
Yeah.
But I love it. I love our people, our nerds.
We're going to be back up to see you soon.
Can't
and,
wait.
Hit the wineries.
I look forward to it. Thanks, Chuck. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. So I have to now adjust my thinking. Oh, John's here. I can ask him. Oh, Johnny. Oh, Johnny. So I learned something surprising.
It's got to be a setting, and it's not supposed to be that way. It shouldn't be that way. So we'll make it so when you.
Yeah, it'd be nice because I mean, I could pot them down, but it's.
They should still get return audio when you turn the.
Yeah. Yeah. They used to. Something changed.
It's a setting, and if I can't figure it out, I'll get what's his name.
You'll figure it out eventually. Okay, that's fine.
I've got sources.
And I will keep it. Yeah, that's right. We can get Kirk. Yeah. I'll just keep that in mind that when I turn off that pot, they're not hearing me anymore.
And it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Have I ever had a studio guest who was disruptive and had to be shown the door? Asks Lar in Michigan. Knock on wood, no. No, I don't think so. Once we had somebody come up here. No, I don't think we ever have had any. We have a nice audience. We have a lovely audience. We don't have any security, so I'm screwed if we do. John's my security. John and Burke will come.
Don't
Muscle
say
them
that
out of
loud.
here. Yeah, you want to steal anything? Just come on in because we really don't have any security here.
I'm gonna get kidnapped.
No, we have security. We have a good relationship with the Petaluma Police Department.
You mean that skinny intern? He's going to save us?
Yeah, Spencer's going to save us. Yeah. I have not been to the David Bruce Winery. The first time ever I did a wine tour on Friday. We've lived in Sonoma for 20 years, and I've never done a wine tasting tour. And
That's unbelievable.
yeah. So I know now 6 wineries I liked a lot, but there's so many more in the area.
Oh, they're so gorgeous. Just the drive.
And they're
down-
pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just driving down like
Winter's
Dairy
better
Creek or-
because it's kind of crowded in the summer.
Sure.
Napa.
And Sonoma's better than Napa, but we shouldn't
Yeah.
let all these secrets out.
I like Sonoma. Michael's in Florence, Alabama, our next caller. Hi, Michael. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Hey, Leo. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm well. How are you?
Doing pretty good. The question I've got is I'm running a podcast, and right now it's only audio, and I would like to be able to play audio back from my computer to where it gets recorded to the stream, and also the callers that I have in for Skype with the co-host, that they can hear the same audio at the same point.
Oh, now you're getting into the dreaded land of mix minus.
Yes. Is there any way to be able to do that without an external mixing board?
So here's the thing with Skype. You want the person who's sitting there on the Skype call to hear everything that's going on except themselves. It's extremely disconcerting if they hear themselves fed back. So they in the biz, if you can call this a biz, we call that mix. That is everything minus, and the minus is you. So when you're listening on Skype, you hear everything but you. You know, I'll never forget doing on MSNBC doing the Brian Williams news show. Coming on for a little interview piece or whatever, and the engineers had screwed it up at MSNBC, and I'm hearing myself back, and because there's delay, you hear yourself back 1 second later. It's like Lou Gehrig. And it's really disconcerting. And I'm sitting there, and you're on the air live. You can't very well say to Brian Williams, "Hey Brian, can you have your engineer turn down the mix? I'm getting my." So you just for 3 minutes, I probably looked like a crazy man. My eyes were bugging out as I'm trying to understand what's going on. I'm hearing myself. I'm hearing Brian. It was very hard. So even in the best, that's network news, and that can happen. So in the best circumstances, it's hard to do. We do it with a mixer. In fact, we struggled with it for so long that the folks at Telos, who make radio equipment, took pity on us. Kirk Harnack over at Telos watched me for years messing with the knobs, trying to get mix minus working, and he finally sent me a Axia system is what we use today, a digital mixing board that does it automatically. It senses it and says, I'm not going to send you yourself back. Doing it in a computer is challenging, but there are ways to route audio in a computer. Are you on a Mac or a PC?
MacBook.
Oh, good news. Rogue Amoeba is a company you should know. They make a lot of audio stuff for the Macintosh. And they make something called Audio Hijack Pro, which I think will do this for you. What it does is it's taking the...
I haven't used Hijack Pro.
All right. Then
But I just haven't been able to figure out.
I never did either, but they say you can do it. The whole point of Audio Hijack Pro is to take audio from any source and mix it into any other source. And it, in theory, it's designed for podcasting. In theory, will do mix minus. This was the thing that Kirk Harnack saw me playing with, trying to get it to work, and took pity on me. So it is doable. And in fact, if you look in their manual, I think they describe how to do it. I'm with you. It's not easy, but if you're going to do it in software. I don't know how to do it in Windows because Apple has this core audio system that you can hook into. It's fairly easy to do it. I think
really good.
Soundflower is another one on the Mac, and Kunix Monkey says Virtual Jack for the PC will do it. They're all designed to do the same thing, which is let you do more sophisticated routing of this kind. Send him this, but not that.
Okay.
Not easier. It's a lot easier. Not easy. It's a lot easier with a mixer. And even with a mixer, it's a bit of a mind bender because you have to create auxiliary channels, and it was a nut job thing to do. So good luck.
I plan on using a mixer sometime in the future. It's just a matter of...
It sounds like you're getting complicated enough where you have live studio guests and Skype guests, kind of like we do on our podcast, that you really need probably something a little bit more heavy duty.
Haven't quite gotten to live guests, but as far as call in or...
Well, it's year one, right? Yeah, year one, and it gets...
And then the host.
Yeah, it just gets very complicated and very difficult, and unfortunately... I don't know of an easy way to do this. I'm sorry, but good luck. What's the name of your show?
It's the Bama Carey podcast. You can check it out at bamacarey.org.
Ben and Carey?
Bama, B-A-M-A.
Oh, you're from Alabama. What am I thinking? Bama?
Carey, C-A-R-R-Y.
Is it about Bama football?
No, it's actually about Second Amendment rights.
Ah, all right. BamaCarey.org. I'll check it out. Good luck. A fellow podcaster. Don't forget to come to New Media Expo because we get together right before CES every January in Las Vegas. All the podcasters. There's about 8 of us now, and it's exciting. It's a growing industry. Bama Carey, as in gun carrier. BamaCarey.org. Brian in Winter Haven, Florida. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Hi, Brian.
Hey, this is Brian in Winter Haven.
Yeah, you're on. Welcome.
Hey, thank you very much, Leo. I've been a huge fan of yours for years. And a matter of fact, you and the Twit TV network have kept me company while doing long commutes over the last several years.
Awesome.
I've been so thankful to have you on my travels to keep me from going crazy. I even put a dedication to you in the new technology book I just wrote.
Wow. What's the book about?
The book is called Why Most Companies Fail at Information Technology Security.
Boy, that is much needed.
Yeah, it goes through a lot of examples of things that I've seen and things that people I've met have seen and have complained about, and I've listened to day after day about how companies could do things better and how management doesn't listen.
Yeah. Where can I find that book?
It's on Amazon.
Okay.
You could search my name, Brian Burns with a Y, or you could search that.
Oh, no. Neat.
Search the book title. Anyways, you're in my dedication, man, because you have really kept me company.
Well, that's nice, and good luck. I hope you listen to our Security Now podcast because that's.
Oh, I'm a huge fan of Steve.
Yeah. He really is a great guy at explaining security, and also kind of sort of a little bit of an iconoclast. He marches to the beat of a different drummer when it comes to security. I think
he doesn't really pull any punches either. That's what I like about him.
Yeah, and I'm sure your book does the same. What can I do for you?
Well, Leo, so me and my wife are on Straight Talk. We got a pretty good deal there and have had pretty good service. But we were originally on S3 phones, and she wanted to go back to a Windows phone. So I bought her a HTC 8X, which was originally a Verizon phone, and we got it unlocked and brought it over to Straight Talk. And I put in all the APN settings. But she has data, internet, and she can send and receive text messages, but she cannot send or receive any pictures, attachments inside text messages.
Okay, so she's phone is working. Phone is working. Browser is working.
Yes.
Text messages, SMS are working, but what's not working is MMS.
MMS, yes.
Straight Talk, you may not have a plan that supports MMS.
I do.
You do? Okay, because that's one of the things. Straight Talk is an MVNO. They resell.
Right, I have the $45 unlimited plan.
Okay, and that includes MMS.
Yes.
So normally it is an APN setting. Straight Talk has a page that says if you're having trouble with MMS, you may need to change your data settings. I would check that page. In fact, I'll put a link in the show notes to it. I'm looking at it right now. You need your phone number or your SIM card number and the type of phone, and then it will give you instructions in the APN. That is all you need if you have a MMS plan. That is all you need on Straight Talk. So a couple of explanations. MMS, I think it stands for Multimedia Service, perhaps. Yeah, sometimes we conflate SMS and MMS. SMS is text messaging. SMS is kind of the picture version of that. They're two separate services, and both need to be working and paid for. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. It's an MVNO issue. And let's look at the check. La 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 la. Cannot receive MMS on Straight Talk. We just celebrated this. I figured it out. So there, you see. Gateway, MMS3trackphone.com. You need to also have this MMSC setting. Okay. So this is good. Thank you very much for that link. Multimedia messaging server. So let's give him that link. That's the one he wants. Thank you, Bad Luck 13. So let's see. Clam chowder, beef barley, split pea and ham, or turkey chipotle. Turkey chipotle. Hello there, John.
You tell me.
Well, turkey chipotle sounds awfully good.
Is it chili?
I don't know. It must be.
Chipotle chili?
If it's chili, I'll have a medium.
Okay. And if
Yes.
it's soup?
I'll have a large.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm suspecting that's chile.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Split pea and ham is very good, too. Beef barley is very good. They're all good. It's not that one is better than the other. They're all excellent choices.
So good. Maybe I should get the healthier one. Nah, I'm having the chowder.
I had, you know what? Okay, so I had chowder yesterday, thanks to you. And then Lisa comes home with more chowder, but not from here, from Lombardi's. And this chowder had bacon as well as clams. It was awfully good.
People say no on the bacon and the chowder.
Well, she said that, too. She said, it's killing the clams. It really is a bacon potato soup.
Yes.
And I think she's right.
I did learn that no bacon thing from somebody in the chat room.
No bacon in your chowder. Do I work every day, Parabolic? It feels like it, but no. In fact, starting in a month, I'm going to have Thursday and Friday off.
Really?
Yes. So what you'll get me, I'll be fresh.
What are you giving?
Fresher than I already am. Huh?
What are you booting from your schedule?
What am I booting? I'm booting the Gizwiz. I'm not going to do that anymore. Chadrick's going to do that. And before you buy, we're giving it a priest. Have a little priest.
What?
Have you ever heard that in Sweeney Todd?
No.
Oh, it's a good song. I wonder
Have
if
a
I
little
have it.
priest?
Have a little priest. Angela Lansbury sings it.
Well, I guess I've heard it.
She's
then,
making
'cause I
meat
saw it.
pies out of people. And
Oh, I get it.
she says something like, he's innocent at least, or something like that.
Oh, so he'll taste better. Not like one of those chewy bad people.
Yeah. She goes through all the different people in her pies, right?
Uh-huh. I've only seen the one with Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter.
That was okay, but not Angela Lansbury.
Really?
Yeah. Leo Laporte, the tech guy, little Sweeney Todd for your delectation on this Thanksgiving weekend. Taking your calls, talking high tech. 8888 Ask Leo. Hey, Brian, I found an answer thanks to our chat room. They are good. Apparently, there are some simple settings that, in fact, I'm going to put this in the show notes at techguylabs.com. There's some simple settings. This comes from WP Central, which is a Windows Phone website. Can't receive MMS on Straight Talk, and there are a lot of settings. When you repurpose a phone from one carrier to another, one of the more obscure things you sometimes have to do is change the data settings. And they're deep down there in the settings. Normally, of course, you get a phone from a carrier, you don't have to change this. But when you take a phone and you move it over to another carrier, as you've done, taking that old HTC 8X from Verizon and moving it over to Straight Talk, you've got to make sure you've got all the settings right. And in particular, the MMS settings are very strange. Very strange. But fortunately, the internet is a wonderful resource in our chat room as well, and we found a link. So we'll put that in the show notes, techguylabs.com. And I think this will solve your problem, Brian. And hey, thank you for dedicating your book to me. That's great. Rafael in Portugal, in Oporto. Hello, Rafael. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Hello.
Is Oporto where port comes from?
Where port wine come from?
Port wine, yes.
Yes, of course.
Of course.
Yes.
You are the luckiest man.
I still need to wait a few years to be able to drink.
Oh, you're underage. Okay, good. Legally. Now, forget I mentioned it.
Legally.
What can I do for you? It's very nice to know you're listening in Portugal, by the way. Thank you.
Thanks. In last Wednesday, I was in my iPhone. It has 12% of battery, and it powered off automatically.
Okay.
So, normally it has little battery.
Yeah, when it gets down to 12%, it shuts down. 12 it should keep going, right? In theory, but I guess.
And sometimes keeps, keep it until 1%.
Yeah. The problem is not the problem is that that it's guessing how much juice is left. And at 12%, and then it suddenly realized, oh, I was wrong, and says goodbye. It was a bad guess. It didn't have 12% left. It should keep going, yes.
Okay, that's one thing. And the other one that most scared me was yesterday I was at the Lego fan convention here, and it had 45%, and I was taking pictures, like a lot of pictures, and it went off.
Oh!
And then when I get home, I powered it off. I plugged in the cable and it had 45% of battery, and I don't know how that happened.
So it maybe maybe it crashed, not turned off.
No, I tried to turn it on again because I saw that it had 17%. Last time I checked the battery, it had 71%.
All right. So here's the problem. It sounds like the phone is guessing wrong about how much power is left. The estimate on power life is inaccurate. Now, I do seem to remember in the dim, dark recesses of my mind, which is pretty dim and dark and cobwebby too, that there were ways to kind of teach the phone what's going on. And my suggestion would be, and I don't know if you're doing this already, but for the next few times, charge it all the way up.
I do it.
And then let it run all the way down till it shuts off. And do that a couple of times. And what you're doing is you're giving the phone information. And it might be that it is confused. It also is it how old is the phone?
I think I got it late May, early June.
Yeah, so it's just out. Is it more than a year old?
No.
Ah, good. So the other thing you could do is take it back to an Apple store, and they may well replace it for you. Because there is a chip that monitors the battery life, and it sounds like that chip is messed up.
Okay, I'll try to go to those.
Yeah, and be nice, be pleasant. Say, hey, I just have a little question. I called a radio show in the United States, and I talked to this guy Leo Laporte, and everybody in the U.S. listens to him, and he said you should give me a new phone. See if that works. And then they go, Leo Laporte, though? Oh, is that where all the port wine comes from? And you say yes, and you say no. That's confusing. I think. It's not. It's actually, I think, a known bug. Did you upgrade to iOS 7?
Yes, it's on the latest 7.0.4, I think.
Yeah. There are issues in battery life with iOS 7 as well. It's a 5S. What version of phone is it? Not 5S.
It's an iPhone 5.
5. Okay. Yeah, I'd take it back to Apple, see what they suggest, because I think this is a actual hardware problem. The phone it's not normal for an iPhone 5 to be so confused. And the fact that it's very confused about how much battery life is left, going from 12% to no percent, going from 45% to no percent, then back to 45%, that's not normal. So document all of that and tell them, and I wouldn't be surprised if they have a replacement for you. Somebody in the chat room said, don't mention Leo. Remember, it's Apple. They hate him. No, that's not. Hey, good to talk to you. Thanks for calling. Appreciate it. Dan in Hawthorne, California. It's good to have a listener in Portugal. That's cool. Hi, Dan. What can I do for you?
Hi, Leo. I bought a Kindle Fire HD.
Yeah.
And I figured I could hook it up myself, so I went and bought a router.
Yeah.
And then the instructions on the router tell me to plug it in. Anyway, I have an Ethernet cable.
Yeah.
So I plugged the router in, and then it tells me I have no connection. There's no connection.
Okay, so do you have internet access?
Yes.
Okay. And you're plugging what kind of internet access, cable or DSL?
It's cable.
Cable. So your cable company provided you with a cable modem?
No.
Oh.
I bought my own modem.
Ah, okay. And have you informed them of this fact?
No.
Okay. So that's you have to call them and say, I am putting some equipment on the line.
Uh-huh.
I'm paying for internet access, and they will want what's called the MAC address of that new router, because the way cable companies generally work is all the equipment on the line has to be registered. And in particular, network equipment, they want the MAC address for it.
Mm-hmm.
And once they have the MAC address, they say, fine, we're going to activate that, and they'll send they also have to activate it. They'll send an activation down. And you did get a router that the cable company said is okay, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then you're good. Then you're golden. It's just a question of calling them and telling them you've got some new equipment on the line. That's typical of cable companies.
Okay, but my question is, I have this little box that there's a cable that goes into it, and then there's it says ether, and this
little box came from the cable company,
right?
And it has an Ethernet jack off of it,
right?
That probably is a cable modem.
Uh-huh.
I would guess. I'm not sure, but I would guess. So when you buy, who's your cable company?
Time Warner.
Time Warner. Usually when you buy internet access from a cable company, they will give you a modem. They don't give it to you. They rent it to you, usually for $5 or $6 a month, which is why many of us buy our own, because it's cheaper in the long run, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I bet you that's what that is. If it has an Ethernet jack on it, I mean, it's possible it's something else. I mean, if I could see it, I could tell you. Does it have? It has lights on the front, and
it has like 4 or 5 green lights on the front.
Yeah, that sounds like a cable modem to me. So when you plug Ethernet into that, presuming that, do you have any other devices on the internet in your house?
No.
No. This is your first one.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is, I want to add Wi-Fi to my cable modem.
Right.
So good. You shouldn't have to call the cable company to do that. The cable modem's already registered with them.
Mm-hmm.
You should be able to take the Ethernet cable from the cable modem and plug it into the Linksys that you bought.
Oh, that goes into the router?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and the router, you're going to want to put it in something called bridge mode. You're going to want to tell it, all I'm asking you to do is be a Wi-Fi access spot. I don't want you to do any of this configuration stuff. So there'll be, it probably will have a menu item right at the. You know how you log into the router with. I don't know. Have you ever set up this router?
No. Well, I tell you what I did. I have a smart TV, so I put it on the smart TV, and I was able to put in all the information there, but it's still telling me that I have no cable connection.
Yeah. Okay. So, what did you put on the smart TV? The router or the modem?
The router.
Yeah, the router. Okay. Yeah. You know, there's a great set of tutorials at practicallynetworked.com. That's probably where you should go and look at the tutorials for this, and you can get the setup straight. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Read the manual.
Please.
Read the manual. I don't even know what's going on there. He plugged the router into the TV and set up the router. You know, I understand he's got a cable modem, and he didn't plug the router into the modem. So here's the setup, Dave. I think it was Dave. No, it wasn't Dave. It was, he's gone. Here's the setup. Really, practicallynetworked.com, you'll see a tutorial on how to set up a cable modem. But, in fact, they'll probably have exactly what you want it to do. But here's the deal. Well, it's very simple, really. There's nothing to it. So what you've got here is you've got from the wall a little cable. There you go. And, can you see that? All right. And that cable is going to two places through a splitter. Here's a splitter. Here's the cable. One of them goes to your TV set or whatever, or, you know, your TV set up, your home theater. This other one goes to this thing, this doohickey, this box here. You got the weird box with the blinky lights on the front and an Ethernet jack out the back. So that Ethernet cable now goes to your Wi-Fi router. I'll make little bunny ears on that because it's got little antennas. So here's the key. You've got to now, using your Kindle Fire, you've got to launch the Fire browser, and you've got to read your manual for your Linksys. You read that manual there, and it's gonna tell you how to configure it. It's probably you open the Silk browser on your Fire, and you go to 10.0.1.1, something like that. It might be 129.1. I can't remember what Linksys does. Yeah, it's 1.1. It's 192.168. That's what it is for the Linksys. .1.1, not 10. So you're going to go there, something like that. Enter in the password, which will say in the manual, probably admin blank, something like that. And then you go in here, and you'll say, hello. You want to put it in bridge mode. And then, because this is going to do all the work, this is going to do what they call DHCP. And this is just going to be a Wi-Fi router. And this is going to send the signal then. It's already sending the signal to the Kindle. It's just not getting on the internet. Because when you enter this address, it's not an internet address. It actually goes just to the Linksys. And that's what you need to do. Or you can try Lil Priest. Everybody's shouting, no, Leo, no, it's not right. Why not? Tell me what's wrong. What's wrong? That's wrong. That's wrong. There we go. Now, he has, well, I'm thinking most cable modems today are actually routers. Well, my modem's a router. Every modem I've had for the last 4 years is a router. In fact, most of them are Wi-Fi. So that's true. If he just has a modem that is not, in fact, a router, then you're right. But how do I know? Yeah, he probably has a Wi-Fi router. I agree. So some people are saying Time Warner includes a Wi-Fi router. Some people say it includes no router. This is why I didn't really answer it on the air. Because it's so depending on what he's got. Well, and that's the other thing. Did he buy a... Oh, I don't think he bought a modem. I think it came with a modem.
No, I mean the device may be DOCSIS compliant.
Oh, the router could be a modem, you're saying?
It was confusing.
I haven't heard that word in a while.
What?
Modem.
Modem. Yeah,
Remember there was an ad where the kid goes, "Mom, Jimmy called me a modem."
No, I don't remember that.
Really? I forget what it was for, but they were like trying to say.
So I have no. The point is, we have no idea what equipment he really has. So I'm assuming that Time Warner gave him a modem router. Truth is, they may well have given him a Wi-Fi modem router, but I don't know. You know, you never know with cable companies. You never know. Because they also have lots of old equipment. They may have just given him a modem. Most cable companies don't do that anymore, but you never know. You never know. Really? Time Warner only gives you a modem? Really? Really? You promised me that? That they only give you a modem? That it's unlikely that you got, when you got high-speed internet from Time Warner, that you did not get a router? Let's see. What do you get? What do you get? Free home Wi-Fi included. But only on Extreme and Ultimate. So he could have basic, in which case he probably doesn't have a router. I don't know. Depends on what package you're getting from Time Warner, whether you get a Wi-Fi router. I'm pretty sure that it'd be crazy for them, unless they have really old equipment, which they may. Let's look at the cheapest thing they got. Oh, I don't want to become a Time Warner customer. Equipment. Here we go. Equipment. Let's see what the equipment is. Internet modem. That's $5 a month. That is a modem only. Yep. That is a modem only. Or for $11.95 a month, you get this. So you're right. These are the two things but you know, if it's Time Warner, it could be in some little town where they're still using old equipment. Who knows? Who knows? So that's the question, is what has he got? I don't know. He said it has lights on it. This does not have lights on it. I should have said, does it have an antenna on it? Because if it has an antenna on it, then you don't need anything. So Time Warner never, ever gives you a router, though. He said it has lights on it. I don't see lights on this modem. He said it has 5 or 6 lights on it. So are all you guys who said no, are you happy? Well, hey, how are you today? Leo Laporte here, the tech guy. Time to answer your computer questions, your internet questions, help you buy a smartphone or a tablet, help you get rid of a computer, whatever it is that's on your mind. I'm here to help. 8888 Ask Leo is the number. 888-827-5536. That's toll free from anywhere in the U.S. or Canada. Skype will work if you're in Portugal or somewhere outside the country. I do want to make sure you know about our website, techguylabs.com. That is where every show, we've done 1,036 Tech Guy shows so far. The audio lives there, in many cases, audio and video. All the news shows in the last 800 or 900 have video as well. And we put the audio and video up after the fact, but you can always get it there. There's a podcast if you want to download it and listen to it in the car later. There's also text of every question, every answer. So that's somewhere you should know about, because if you hear something or I mention something and you say, oh, what was that? You can always go to techguylabs.com. It's absolutely free. There's no subscription charge or anything. You can always go to techguylabs.com and get the link I mentioned or whatever. You can also get into our fine chat room. Love that little chat room. Not so little. Several hundred people usually in there every single show. 892 people today. Answering the questions, yelling at me. And that's another thing I'd like to say. If you're listening and you're going, no, Leo, I have a better way. Please, we'd love to get that information. Put it on the website. There's a comment section for each and every question and answer pair. Add your comments. You can even vote comments up and down. So the idea being over time, the better answers get voted up, and those would be the first thing a person would see after they go to that website. And that's very helpful. All of that's free now and always will be, thanks to our fabulous sponsors. TechGuyLabs.com. Dave is in La Mesa, California. Hi, Dave. Leo Laporte, the Tech Guy. Hello, Dave.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Actually, a couple questions. One, I just upgraded my S4 to a Galaxy. It's my Galaxy S to an S4. It was almost free and with better battery life.
Yeah, I think the S4 is and it's got a great camera, by the way.
Yeah, and it's mainly I'm not crazy about the larger size of the phone, going from an S to an S4, but
yeah, that's a big jump. Yeah, it's a big jump. Yeah.
So I've been toying with a tablet, and mainly the only thing I use my laptop for is if I'm traveling and I'll go to my PC and access my work computer to do my Windows and then Microsoft Office stuff. So mainly it'd be for a browser. But I've looked at the 7 and the 8 inch. They just look to be too small. So I'm kind of leaning toward a 10-inch tablet.
Your phone's too big, but your tablet's too small.
Yeah.
That's the way of the world, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, I think a 10-inch, if you're going to replace a laptop, 10-inch is probably a good size.
Okay. And so a good recommendation for inexpensive but reliable.
How happy are you with Android? Is it something you want to keep using?
Yeah. I don't own any Apple products. I wouldn't say I wouldn't buy one, but I don't own any now. But
I think the Android tablets have in many cases caught up now. And what is exactly the kind of stuff you'd want to do with this?
Mainly just browse the internet and then go to my PC to work on my office computer.
So you'd have to have go to my PC,
right?
Capability. I think Android has go. I'm sure it does. Yeah. So that's not going to be
on my phone. I can go to my PC on my Android.
Yeah,
phone,
and I think for go to my PC, a bigger screen definitely is going to help, because you want to get a whole Windows screen, Windows computer screen on your tablet. You definitely need to have a full screen. So I think a Galaxy Note is probably a good choice for you. I wouldn't go. You'll see Android tablets in the sub $100 range. Do not. Do yourself a favor. Do not do that.
Okay.
You really get what you pay for in any computer hardware. We talk about this all the time, because people often have very low expectations of what stuff should cost, and you'll be sorry. It's almost always a mistake to buy something really cheap.
What gigabyte size? What size gigabytes minimum should I get?
Well, what you're describing doesn't require much storage at all, right? It's only when you start putting pictures, music, and video on there that you need more space. So unless you start storing a lot of music and video, I'd say 16 gigs is plenty.
Okay.
16 gigs is more than enough for all your apps. You have actually only described 2 apps that you would use. But I know you're going to add some. You're going to be playing Angry Birds by Christmas, and you'll start doing Candy Crush Saga by springtime, and after that, your kids will never see you again. But that's your problem. I can't help you there.
What about Dell and Lenovo? Are those?
Those are good. If you want you want a Windows tablet, there's some good choices out there.
Do I need a Windows tablet?
I don't think you do. From what you just described, I think you'd be very happy with. Okay, so Samsung Galaxy Note, good choice. There are the Asus Transformers are excellent Android tablets, and they have the advantage of you can plug in a keyboard, so they're more like a laptop. I don't think you need I don't even know. Does Lenovo? I guess they do. They make some Android tablet. I'm a fan. The other one that you might want to look at, and it's going to be updated soon, I think, is the Nexus 10 from Google. Google typically on these Nexus devices keeps them up to date faster and charges less. But the Nexus 10 is a little long in the tooth. It's more than a year old now.
I think one other question.
My choice is the Galaxy Note 2. I really think that's the best one out there.
Okay. If I could ask one other question.
Sure.
I had a Bose Bluetooth headset that I really loved, but I lost it.
Oh.
And I love the earpiece part that goes, the rubber type of earpiece that goes in. And they're awfully expensive, but I'd probably go for another one. But is there another Bluetooth headset or earpiece that you would recommend that is good quality like the Bose?
I think those Bose Bluetooths are about as good as you can get. Let me think of what else is out there. And you use this for music mostly, yeah?
No, mostly just talking on the phone.
Talking on the phone. Oh, well, then you don't really need a Bose. You don't need stereo. You just need one ear, right?
Right.
Yeah. So you're talking about, I have one of those too, the little Bose Bluetooth earpiece. It's just one little thing.
Series 2.
Yeah. Right. Oh, there's a lot of companies. Plantronics makes excellent ones that are less expensive than Bose. A lot of them are less expensive than Bose. Blue Ant is a lesser-known company, but their T-Series is excellent. Blue Ant. I think they're Australian.
They had a rubber piece that goes in your ear.
All of them do that. All of them go in your ear, and they almost always come with different sizes. Chat room says they like LG. I've used Plantronics and Blue Ant and have been very happy with both of them. They're all kind of the same. It's more the software that's on them, how easy it is to pair it with your phone and things like that. Oh, Jawbone, I can't forget Jawbone. They're kind of the kings of the Bluetooth headsets. They're very good too. All of these will be less expensive than the Bose. The Bose, you're paying for a brand name.
Right.
Bluetooth, when you're talking about Bluetooth headsets, the audio quality isn't great because they're designed for phones. So the main reason you get Bose is for the audio quality, but they can't do anything with the audio quality of Bluetooth, I don't think. So I think it doesn't really matter.
Okay, fantastic.
All right. Hey, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think the newest Samsung Note is a pretty good choice, the 10-inch. Randy in Mission Viejo, Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Hi, I have the Mavericks new free operating system on my Mac.
You have my deepest sympathies. I do too.
I hate that system.
Apple has I am so disappointed in Apple. Both iOS 7 and Mavericks are full of bugs. And then OS 10 Mavericks, they took away many features that are very good features for no reason.
Is there any way I can wipe the drive and put
Start
on?
over?
I've got the Snow Leopard, disc.
Yeah, you could start over.
How do I do that?
It's very simple. If you've got your install disk, you put it in the machine, you reboot the machine. Well, actually, you could just launch the installer, and it would reboot for you. And then go into options, and you want to do a custom install. The custom install deletes everything. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. The show today brought to you by Gazelle.com. I tell you what, if you have an old iPhone, an old gadget lying about the house, and you're saying, I want the new thing, Gazelle is a lifesaver. Gazelle will buy your old iPhone, your old iPod, your old iPad. They'll even buy tablets from Samsung. They'll buy old Microsoft Surfaces. Google Nexus. I have the Nexus 7. I'm just curious. I mean, this thing is old. I can't imagine. It was only $229 when I got it. Just curious what the Nexus 7 is worth. I have the 2012 Nexus 7. I'm not sure which one. I think that's this one. Hey, I'll take it. $35. It's just sitting on a shelf. See, you probably have a lot of stuff like that. Maybe you have an iPhone 5 and you want to get the 5S. Let's get an offer for that. $210. That's the subsidized fee right there. I basically get $10 in my pocket. You can even, this kind of blows me away, but you can sell other cell phones, BlackBerries, HTCs, LGs, Motorola. You got a Samsung Galaxy S4, and you say, no, I really wish I'd bought the Note 3. Well, you can do that. Let's get it. Here's an S4, and it's in good condition. $190. There you go. There you go. Now you can get the the Note 3. Gazelle.com. Gazelle is fabulous. They'll even buy broken iPhones or iPads. That's nice. And if you've got anything worth more than $1, they'll pay all the shipping. In fact, the way this works, you're going to get a quote guaranteed for 30 days. That gives you time to transfer your data, set up the new device, or even decide whether you want the new device. The quote is no obligation. You don't have to use it, but in 30 days, you can use it, and you just pull the trigger. They will send you a box, pay the shipping. They'll process it. Their data experts will wipe the data if you forget to do so. They have traded in more than 1 million gadgets now. 700,000 customers, $100 million. And the customer surveys say the best customer service, 9 out of 10. And I will verify that. Now, the way it works after you send it in is they will send you a check, or you can get a PayPal credit, or an Amazon gift card, and that they'll bump 5%, which is kind of nice. They'll give you an extra 5%. MacBooks, Macs, iPods, tablets, iPads, cell phones, and iPhones. This is the way to sell your gadgets fast and easy. Put some cash in your pocket or get the latest and greatest at Gazelle.com. Sorry, John. So I think we had it wasn't too bad because it mostly hit me.
I don't know.
Huh?
We're debating whether we should replace this keyboard.
How many spills is this?
At least a second on the keyboard.
Hey, it's still working. I would say, as in the words of HAL 9000, I suggest we leave the keyboard in operation until it fails.
Well, maybe I'll run it through the dishwasher.
It might be getting sticky. These are cheap, but you put a lot of effort into these little labels.
Alex.
I don't want Alex to have to do new labels.
Yeah, but you know him by now, right?
He likes doing labels?
Well, no. If we...
I never even look at the labels. I don't look at... You don't need to replace the labels. I have no idea what they even mean. What's V5? I don't know.
Well, that's the... it's the ME5. It's the double box.
Oh. So if I press this? Nothing. See, it's my preview. I know this is... Oh, I'm supposed to press... Shift V5 or? I don't think so. I don't think they. See these V1, V5. That makes no sense.
Yeah, that's all preview.
Yeah, it's all preview row.
But why is it in one instead of 5 instead of 1?
No, it's not.
So those.
So in other words, I don't need those. Oh look, I'm in Seattle. Where am I? It's Chicago. That's the Hancock Building. Hello, Chicago.
You're on the air.
Chicago, you're on the air. One of the reasons I do this is to keep the staff on their toes. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. It's not even sticky. Not even sticky. I'm getting the little dribs and drabs out here.
We'll run it through the dishwasher, see if the labels stay on.
Michael at home uses one of these Logitech dishwasher safe keyboards. It's like a rubber keyboard, and it's still disgusting. I think keyboards should be washed, every month. This one is so gross. Ugh. And I haven't even spilled anything on it. Yeah, the air can is not gonna clean that.
Oh God! Are we okay over there?
Oh, we've always been okay. People make such a big deal about spilling coffee on equipment. It's nothing.
Okay, I thought I saw something funny with one of the lines, and I didn't know. If
It's because as I was cleaning the keyboard, I was touching the keys, and they thought it was us, but it wasn't. It was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It is chilly. Whoa!
Oh, it's hot again. I know what I was going to tell you.
Very hot.
My day job is so strangely sort of intersecting with this one because our bands are doing all these holiday parties for Apple, Google.
Oh, wow.
One of the PayPal co-founders,
How
I
neat.
did a walkthrough at his place.
We're not having a band for our party. We're having a casino. It's casino night.
Did we get some Bitcoin to gamble?
I'm giving you each. Well, no, I can't tell you. It's a secret.
That's right. Don't say it.
I don't want to surprise you. I mean, I do want to surprise you. Three Mile Island meltdown was caused by a spilled coffee? I don't think so.
Wait, you're talking about The Simpsons.
That's The Simpsons. Was it really? A spilled Pepsi? Oh. Leo Laporte, the tech guy, 8888. Ask Leo. I love Macintosh computers, and if given the choice between Mac and Windows, I'll choose a Mac every day, 10 times out of 10, no problem at all. But I also have to be honest. I don't think Apple is keeping up with the quality here. And I think Apple may be suffering a little bit of a brain crunch, frankly. Lots of bugs in the new Mavericks operating system. Lots of weird choices as well. And iOS 7, don't get me started. I really hate how it looks. And I think a lot of weird choices made there as well. And just some inconsistency. And some people say, and I think this might be true, that the problem isn't that Apple doesn't want to make a perfect operating system, but it's hard to get these programmers. These really great programmers are hard to find. It's just as hard to find as a great singer or a great painter. And of course, because we have a world where they are in more demand than ever before, and everybody in the world, Google and Facebook and Apple, are throwing money at these guys, and Microsoft throwing money at these, it's hard to get them. And now Apple has $150 billion in cash in the bank, so it's not an issue of not having enough computers or seats or even enough money to give these guys. I think it's really, there is just a dearth of great programmers out there. The Andy Hertzfelds and the Bill Atkinsons of the world, and Apple just doesn't have them. I don't know where they're going. I think what's happening is that the best programmers are coming out of school and starting their own businesses. They're looking at what happened at Instagram when they made $1 billion in less than a year on this startup. And Snapchat, two frat brothers from Stanford who turned down a $3 billion offer, from Facebook, saying we're worth more, 2 years old company. I think a lot of these kids coming out of the computer science programs all over the country and all over the world, for that matter, are saying, hey, why would I go work for Google or Apple or Microsoft when I could start my own business and be worth $1 billion in a year or two? And that's what's happening. So I think that what we're seeing is some of the less brilliant programmers are working on some of these operating systems, and they're getting more complicated, let's face it, the operating systems. But they do seem less robust, and there seem to be design choices that are less comprehensible. Somebody in the chat room, Debug One, says, writing code is easy. Writing good code? That's not so easy. I think that's probably true. Our advice with Mavericks was to wait. My advice this is the royal we. No, my friends and I who are paying attention to this stuff almost always say, wait before you upgrade an operating system till the second version. Not the first update, but the second update. So this is 10.9. Don't install 10.9. Don't install 10.9.1. Install 10.9.2. That's the update that fixes the bugs introduced by the first update. By then, they should have figured out a lot of these problems. I do have to say that in general, whether it's Windows or Macintosh, or even Linux, you do want to have the latest operating system. Android, you do want to have the latest operating system. iOS, because of security flaws that are fixed and so forth. And generally, we are getting better. It's just sometimes it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And there are a number of things with OS X Mavericks where people are just scratching their heads. Simple things like the ugly dock, that you can't change, to odd decisions about, how to handle Finder windows. Finder tabs are the new thing from, and Apple. The way Apple works is they hand this down from the mountaintop and say, this is how it is. From now on, you will use tabs, not new windows. And if you're used to using new windows, it's just frustrating. I don't think there's a problem with waiting. That's, I guess, my point. Eventually, you're going to want to upgrade. You absolutely are. But if you're using Windows 7, or if you're using OS 10 Mountain Lion, there's not such urgency yet. Wait a little bit. Let the bugs be ironed out. Let some of these bumps in the road be fixed before you make the big change. Me, I'm always going to get the latest because that's my job. I'm the one who has to say to you, uh-oh, trouble ahead. Let's go to Honolulu. Justin is on the line. Hi, Justin. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Hi, Leo.
You want to be a billionaire, hey, Justin?
Yeah, no, I'm confused. Here's my story. I work in the hospitality industry out here, and about maybe 7, 8 years ago, our hotel group started getting into internet for the hotel guests, and so then one day the boss sent me out to go, plug in somebody's computer to their modem from back in the day.
Yeah.
And he said, well, Justin, the day you feel like you can't do this kind of stuff, you come back to the office and you can just answer the phones like the rest of the operators. Yeah. So then.
And you want a better job? I don't blame you. You want to be the smart guy.
No, well, this is what happened. He started sending me out. He said, hey, go to the guest ship and talk to the guests, get them onto the internet.
Wow.
And then come back and then go over there and plug in those Cat5 cables to the Cisco box. And then.
You like this?
And yeah, I was like, yo, this is great. And so then that was 5 years ago. And so then I've never really gotten into school to go do this kind of stuff. My boss is really smart because he thought I'd be intimidated. He dumbed it down. He said, none of this stuff has any names. Just go over there, plug this in.
You figure it out.
Yeah. He said, don't even worry about the names. It's, we work with Apple products, Windows products.
But let me ask you. You said you've been doing this 5 years, Justin. You're probably pretty accomplished by now, yeah?
I take the contractors around. We get contractors come to the hotel to hook up the hotel stuff, and then he says, go take them around and show them what they got to do.
So you're doing good.
I'm doing great. I don't have a paper. Though.
Well, all right. So this is an interesting question. It's certainly true when you get into IT the first time, they want to see a certification. They want to see one of the CompTIA, the A+ certification, or a Microsoft certified system administrator, or they want to see a cert because it's like a diploma. But as you get farther and farther away from college, and as you get farther and farther away from the cert, it's what you've done. It's what your history tells them.
That's what he said.
I think he's right because it's really for the guy just starting out that the certs are there to give the employer some level of confidence. This guy at least took a test and understands the name. Now, if you want to get a cert, I don't think it's a bad idea.
Uh-huh.
And I was
thinking maybe like intro networking or like a science, internet science.
I'm going to point you. I'm going to point. Well, first of all, there are certainly junior colleges in your area you can go to and take those classes.
Yes, sir.
And they're probably very inexpensive, if not free.
Yes.
And I wouldn't turn you away from that. Now, if you want to do it on your own, we have a sponsor. I'm gonna right up front disclaimer. This is a sponsor. They're called IT Pro TV, and the idea of this is you pay a monthly fee and you can watch all the videos in their library, and they do work towards certification for CompTIA, for Microsoft, or for Cisco, so you can work towards your certification. You can. I think this is a good way and an easy way. And certainly in an inexpensive way to learn. itpro.tv. And I think for the price they're charging, it's certainly a good idea. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. I think, for whatever it is, $58 a month. And as Ichiro is saying in the chat room, I've fired so many employees who have certs. The cert isn't going to get you anywhere. It's going to get you in the door. Real world experience is always going to be more valuable, but it's just hard to prove, right? Yeah, if you want to go to, a tech school, it's expensive. It's thousands and thousands. Oh, I'll give you lots of examples with Mavericks. It's a bug in Core Audio. The YouTube videos, the audio stops working, which bit me on the air. I mean, there's no excuse for that. There are problems galore in Mavericks. Hey, Mr. Chris Marquardt.
Hello. I'm so bright.
You're the brightest man on this show. Let me fix it. Let me dummy you down here.
Thank you.
Put you in cinema mode. That's sports. That's
as long
standard.
as that doesn't mean widescreen, I'm all good.
That's
movie.
That's
much
Isn't
better.
that better? Yeah.
That's so much better.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Chris is white balance for movie mode.
I'm slowly bringing the color.
I know,
back.
you're
Are you seeing
saturating
that?
very slowly.
Yeah, just a little bit more every
That's
time.
funny.
And then you'll finally see how horrible the colors actually are.
Go back to black and I'll say go back to black and white.
No, I'm gonna leave it at that. It's okay. Could be much worse. So, any new cameras you played with? A7R, Sony, something?
Oh, I
those
canceled my A7R order because I just said I can't justify buying this, even though I want it badly. Plus, there's so few lenses. I'm going to wait a little while, watch all you guys.
See, even I can't justify that at this point. I am just I have my setup. I have everything I need. I have it in a
I don't
form
use
that
everything I've got.
Works really well.
Yeah.
I'm used to to my gear, so I don't have any issues. I never run into problems because I know exactly how it works. I don't want to relearn everything, and I need some very specific lenses that are not available for that system. So
that's a big problem right now.
That whole thing is kind of. Even though I've heard from people who went into the store, played with it, and just bought it. So
Russell bought an A7, not the A7R. So I'll ask Russell at some point. But do you want to talk about that?
Not really. No. We'll do an assignment review.
I don't see your email.
I have sent it to you.
Maybe Google
I sent
decided.
it.
Oh, Google put it in updates. Let me.
Okay. Yeah. Sometimes the dragging into other tabs doesn't work or doesn't stick.
I've told it.
So
I've said, Google, this is personal.
By the way, Dio, you need a Bitcoin show.
Really?
Absolutely. It's the hot thing right now.
What is
I
there
see
to
so
say
much-
about Bitcoin? We have an interview on triangulation with the
There's a lot of
head of the
how-to, a
Bitcoin
lot of-
Foundation. I guess we could do
a-
like the Bitcoin.
a lot of
Miner
how
show.
to and
Yeah.
things. I mean, I just dabble. I don't have.
Are you mining?
Anything No, I'm way beyond. That's over. That's completely over. But it's so I see so much interest that
I know.
and it's a very geeky thing. So I think there's
We
a
talk
lot
about it on Security Now a lot. I've
Yeah,
interviewed the head of the Bitcoin Foundation on triangulation. I mean, I think we've given it a lot of coverage.
All right.
I don't know. We might have
Well,
done. I should ask if they've done Bitcoin mining on know-how. That would be good.
It doesn't even have to be Bitcoin. I mean, there's such a universe out there around cryptocurrencies in general. So I was just surprised.
That Kodachrome theme can signify but one thing: the appearance of our digital photography guru, Mr. Chris Marquardt. Hello, Christopher.
Hello, Leo. How are you?
He joins us every week. I'm great to talk about photography. And this week, every month, we give you an assignment, not a competition. There are no prizes, but an assignment, a chance to go out and take new pictures with your camera. It could be a camera phone, could be a point and shoot, could be a high-end DSLR. We don't discriminate against any kind of camera.
Yeah,
Upload it
doesn't
to.
really matter.
No, it's the photographer, not the camera.
Exactly.
What was our assignment this month?
The assignment for the last about 4 weeks was a fast. So
Fast, as in
we asked people to, as in speed, as in don't eat, as in
yeah. A
as
lot
in-
of people
as in-
interpret it at speed. I see a lot of. And by the way, these pictures were all uploaded to our Tech Guy group on Flickr.
One person had a clock, like an alarm clock theme, so that could be fast. So there are lots of ways.
They're
to do it.
beautiful pictures as always, but you've picked 3 of them. Yeah, there's a Camaro. That's fast. You picked.
Well, it's a fast car, but the picture doesn't really make it look fast.
No, it's a slow Camaro. Yeah. So you picked 3 that illustrate the concept and are of interest just for their technique. You want to start describing these?
Yes,
Pictures on the
absolutely.
radio.
Let's look at the first one. The first one is by Randy Vias, and it's both something that has to do with speed. It's a speed limit sign, so we would see a speed limit sign. It's kind of a weird picture because
It's confusing.
it's very confusing because the road is on the top and not on the bottom, and then you realize that, oh, wait a minute, that sign is probably upside down, but he held the camera upside down, so you are seeing the sign right side up, but the road is upside down. Some beautiful reflections in that road, some street lights. There's probably some rain that just fell, so you have some nice reflections. And what he did is he moved the camera, and while doing a longer shutter speed, so he added some motion blur to that picture, and that is a very, very, very proven technique to add this element of speed to your pictures.
All right, it's interesting.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
cool. And the colors are kind of off, so probably some, I would guess, some Instagram filter or something on it, which gives it this nighttime feel, and those streetlights are on. So it's at the same time confusing, but also clearly speed related. So I like that.
So motion. What is motion blur? What is the description?
Well, what you do is usually during daytime, the shutter of your camera is open for just 100th or 1,000th of a second. So whatever moves gets frozen in space. But if you shoot during darker, like during dawn or dusk and just lower light, then all of a sudden the shutter is, if it's too fast, it'll just not let enough light in there. So it has to be longer, and longer open shutter means that everything that moves in front of the camera gets kind of blurry.
Oh, you mean that
motion
thing
blur.
that happens
Yeah.
when I'm taking a picture and my hand shakes?
And that as well. You can either keep the camera steady, or you can and move something in front of the camera, or you can move the camera. We'll get to that in a minute. The moving of the camera. This one is one where the camera was not moving.
Okay. Picture 2 comes to us from Mary Ellen.
Yes, it's it took me a few seconds to realize what it is. Mary Ellen is looking up at an overpass of some sort, and then there's a bus driving. And this is another example of camera is steady, probably on a tripod or something. Longer shutter speed, and the bus that you see, well, it just turns into this long blurry thing. But then your eyes go straight to the signage on the bus in the front, and this is a bright orange illuminated sign. And the interesting effect that happens there, and that's why I chose it, is that it's an LED sign, and LEDs are not permanently on. They kind of cycle. So you have you know if you move your eyes fast in front of the TV, sometimes you see multiple pictures, like a stuttery kind of thing. And that's what this picture shows.
So you see the blur from the train, which is kind of a more normal, smooth blur, and the blur of the sign is kind of stuttery. Yeah,
stuttery. Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So
I can actually read. I can actually read the bus sign.
Yes.
It's this. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
It's a light source thing. If you have tungsten light, if you have incandescent light, you'll get smooth blurs, and if you have LED lights, you typically get these kind of stuttery kind of.
How interesting.
Thing. So that's
Nice,
one of those
Mary
effects
Ellen.
that
I like
happens
that
there.
one. And the colors are nice. It's a nice image. Finally,
the third one by Brendan Burkett it's a motorbike. And you see this writing from the right to the left, nice catchy kind of yellow color there. Yellow is a warning kind of color. So you look at that and you see the motorbike right away in front of some greenery on a street. And the interesting thing is here, what Brendan did is he moved the camera with the bike. So he did what's called a panning shot. So what you do is you set the camera to a bit of a longer shutter speed. A good starting point is about 1/10 of a second, and then when something's moving past, like a bike or a car or something else that moves in a kind of a linear fashion, you set your camera on auto, on rapid fire pretty much. So it goes click, 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 and you pan with the thing that's moving. And what that does is then the thing that's moving is in focus, is not blurred, but the background gets blurred. And you see this a lot in Formula One photography, car racing.
It's a real
racing.
skill. I mean, I've tried to do this. It's very hard to get it. You might. Is it that you just take a
practice,
lot of
yes.
shots, or
you do take a lot of shots. You need the auto repeat kind of thing, so the camera fires as many shots as possible in a row. You need to have autofocus on, so the focus follows, because whatever you're focusing on is coming closer and then is going further away again. And then just be prepared to probably have to dump about 99% of the pictures that you take. There will be one or two good ones in a 10-minute session, and then you get better with it over time. But it's really a matter of training, of practicing, and of being ready to throw away a lot of pictures.
Well, I think these are all lovely. Thank everybody for submitting, and let's do it again. What's our assignment for next week?
The next assignment is Arrival. Arrival. You know, it's the time of Advent. It's a thing that here in Germany is very big. So I thought, and Arrival is pretty much the meaning behind that.
Santa is about to arrive.
And lots of things are about to arrive.
Yeah.
So December is that month.
All right. So we don't really interpret what the word means. We just say take a picture. Now we have 11,000 members. I'm so proud. We just crossed 11,000 members of the Tech Guy group.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can join very easily by just going to Flickr. Flickr's free. It's a Yahoo property, so you probably already have a Flickr account, but if not, create one. And then you'll want to join the Tech Guy group. You'll know you're in the right place when you see a picture of me and you see 11,005 members and you see 3,333 photos.
That's the number I was just looking at.
That's kind of cool.
It is.
We've been
very
and
cool.
You know, Chris, look at this. We've been doing it since May 2007.
Uh-huh.
That's a long time.
It is.
That's
wow.
neat. Isn't that great? So join the group, share your pictures. One of the great things about Flickr is you get feedback from other Flickarians. If you put your picture up, they'll put comments on there, and a lot of times they're very useful, helpful comments. It's a great way to develop your photography. And of course, maybe you'll be one of the 3 that we talk about in a month. 4 weeks to take a picture of Arrival, whatever that means to you. Chris Marquardt is at chrismarquardt.com. Actually, if you're interested in his workshops, discoverthetopfloor.com, and joins us every week. Thank you, Chris.
Absolutely.
All right, take care. Leo Laporte, the Tech Guy. More calls right after this. I did get the Sony RX100 point and shoot, and I've been very happy with the shots from that. I gotta say.
The RX100 is a pretty awesome camera. I've played with that. Yes.
For a point and shoot, it's good. It has RAW, very low light capability. So, in fact, I haven't posted them, but I have a bunch of pictures of our Christmas tree from last night. We bought a 12.5-foot Christmas tree. and believe it or not, not only did we get it in the house, we decorated it already. And I have pictures of that process. I have some really crappy ones that I took with the Moto X. Boy, the Moto X in low light is very disappointing. Very disappointing. But
well, the small sensors, it's really hard for small sensors.
Yeah, camera phones just don't do well. Yes. But the Sony has a 1-inch sensor, which for a point and shoot is pretty darn big. So I'm pretty happy with that. Here, I'll show you.
Sounds cool.
I'll show you the Christmas tree. Let's see here. This is Lisa putting the star on top.
Wow.
It's huge.
It's huge.
It's ginormous.
Well, you have the space for it.
Well, we have a 15-foot ceiling, so
wow.
I always wanted a big tree, so we got one.
And it takes about a month to set it up and to decorate
we've got it all decorated. These are the guys who brought it in.
Okay.
It's all done.
Oh wow!
This is the guy.
It's a nice looking tree.
It's a gorgeous tree.
Very dense. Lots of branches to hang things off.
Well, you should know. You're from Germany, the home of the Christmas tree, the land of the Tannenbaum.
The Tannenbaum. Yes.
Yeah. There it is.
Oh, we have lots of them. We get them from the Black Forest.
Right. This is from Oregon. We were going to get a live one. We found out what a live 12.5 Christmas tree would cost. 12.5 Christmas tree. So.
You know, when I was in Oregon a few years ago, my first thought was this feels just like Germany.
Yeah.
Oregon was very similar like the Black Forest.
Yeah, it's forested.
Lots of fir trees. Yes.
Yeah, it's a beautiful state. Yeah, it does feel like that. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. All right, Chris.
Okie dokie.
Have a good one.
In
all right.
a week from
Talk
now.
to you in a week. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye. No, the ladder did not come with a tree. I had to get the ladder. This was our Thanksgiving dinner. Look at this. This is amazing. This is made out of... Oops, that's Michael eating pizza. Whoops. Let's go back. This is made out of sugar. That is spun sugar. Even the corn is spun sugar. Is that amazing? That's Fairmont pastry chefs are amazing. Really good. How did I do it? Well, I did it with my little hands. My little sugary hands. Yeah, the Nexus 5, these were the Nexus 5, which I finally gave up on the Moto X. The Nexus 5 was a lot better in the low light. These are all Nexus 5, and then you can see if you could tell when it goes to Moto X. These are all, and this is pretty dark. And then that's the Moto X. It looks like, you know, an Instamatic. These are all Moto X. It's very disappointing. The Nexus 5 color and clarity, even in this low light situation, was really quite good. Yeah, it's a good ladder, isn't it? I don't have pictures of it decorated yet. I did take a lot last night.
So when you saw it, you had to say, we're going to need a bigger ladder.
I did. And we called Lisa's brother-in-law. He came over with a giant ladder. Leo Laporte, the tech guy, 8888 Ask Leo. That's the number if you want to call with a question, a comment, a suggestion, a little hand-holding on the information superhighway. That's what I'm here for. Marge in Los Angeles. Hi, Marge.
Leo, this is actually David. Margie asked me to get on the phone and explain her problem to you.
Certainly. Hi, David.
Hi. Got two Samsung smart TVs, one in the family room and one in the kitchen. They're about 25 feet apart. And we hooked up a wireless transmitter and receiver so the one in the kitchen can receive the same thing that the one in the living room is pulling in off of the DirecTV satellite. And that was working great for about 8 months. And about a month ago, the TV in the kitchen kind of locked up, which it had happened before on a number of occasions. And we would just reset the receiver, and that would fix the problem. When it happened about a month ago, and we reset it, all of a sudden the audio between the two is off by almost 2 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, frankly, that it was in sync at all in the beginning.
No, it worked great for about 8 months.
I think the wireless transmitter receiver probably is borked. Although, what are you using to get the signal from the living room into the kitchen?
Well, that's what it's the Action. It's an Action Tech.
Action Tech, yeah, I've used the Action Techs. There is lag introduced doing that because the Action Tech has to compress the signal, send it through RF to the receiver, and then put it in the TV. So it's not unusual for there to be a slight lag. In fact, that's one of the things that makes something like the Sonos so amazing is that you can have music speakers wirelessly connected throughout the house all be in sync. It takes a lot of work to do that. So the fact that you were in sync is impressive.
And a slight delay between the two, but it was so minimal you couldn't tell.
That's good. So it's possible that there's a setting. What are you transmitting to the Action Tech? How is it? What is it connected to? The cable box or the DirecTV box?
The transmitter is connected to the TV.
Okay. So you don't have an AV receiver in the mix.
No, everything coming in from the DirecTV goes. No, okay, it goes up to it comes in to the DirecTV box, and then it goes to the transmitter. The transmitter goes up back to the TV.
Yeah. If you have this, because this is such a common problem, that it's not unusual to, in AV receivers, for instance, have the ability to add audio delay to sync up to lip sync. I don't know if your Action Tech has that capability. You might look in the menu on it.
Right, it doesn't.
It does not.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I've used these. In fact, trying to think why would it have happened and what could have caused it. I presume turned everything off, unplugged it all, and started over again. And it's
right, and I've upgraded the firmware on both of them. I've talked to Action Tech, and they just say there must be something wrong with the TV because their units. Like, okay,
it's not our fault. Well, that's
exactly.
What frankly is amazing to me is that it worked for 8 months. So that's what I find amazing. Yeah, and it's very annoying because you're close enough that you can hear the audio in the other room, and so it's got this 2-second delay, this echo.
Yes.
Yeah. The picture match up? Is the lip sync in the kitchen all right?
I'm not sure because we haven't really looked at it that closely.
Yeah, I'd look at that because what you want to, if the lip sync's okay, then there's a 2-second delay introduced by to both audio and video by transmission. If the picture is out of sync with the audio, that's where an audio sync device might make a difference. Can you on the Action Tech? I think it uses 2.4 gigahertz, right?
Yeah.
Can you change? You can't change that.
No.
So that's the other thing that may have happened is that perhaps you've got interference somehow. That's the Wi-Fi spectrum. The reason it's the Wi-Fi spectrum is because it's unregulated. Nobody, not the FCC, not anybody, pays any attention to it. So it's very possible that you've got a neighbor suddenly using their Wi-Fi or something like that could be causing a problem. Could be a phone, a cordless phone. Can you change? What are the settings in the Action Tech? I don't remember. Can you change channels?
No, there's virtually...
It's on or off.
It's either on or off, and then when you go into the settings, which you can only do on the receiver, not on the transmitter, right. The only thing you can really do there is upgrade your firmware.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know. It sounds like something went wrong with the Action Tech.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. We have noticed recently on the main TV, the picture and audio is not synced completely. But we don't know if that's just on certain shows we were watching or...
Well, you will see that occasionally on satellite television. And
right.
The reason is the compression for video is more, it takes more time to decompress the video than the audio. So often the audio gets ahead of video. And that's why all of these receivers have this little setting in here that you could bump the audio, you can slow down the audio so that they can catch up. Maybe the television settings have changed. Maybe there's something going on in the TV that is causing it to process what it's getting more. This would be the kitchen TV.
Right.
You might take a look at that since that's where the power went out there. Maybe it reverted to some settings. For instance, is it an LCD TV? Does it have motion compensation turned on? The 120 hertz or 240 hertz motion compensation turned on? Things like that. That might be another source of problems. If the receiving TV is slowing things down, in other words, the Action Tech might be just fine. But then the receiving TV gets it and does some more processing to it. So I look at the settings in your kitchen on your kitchen TV.
Right.
And make sure it's not doing anything to it.
Yeah, I'll look at that some more. I've looked at some of it, but I'll go through that a little more.
Yeah.
Is there any other devices that we could look into using instead of the Action Tech?
I used the Action Tech and I abandoned it for similar reasons. I found it to be unreliable and kind of spotty in performance, and I was not going as far as you are. I was 15 feet. So I don't think there are good choices out there. RF is difficult to do. It would be better to do it wired.
Yeah.
And even if you do it wired, having the two sync up is non-trivial. Somebody in the chat room, Catbeard, if you want to trust somebody named Catbeard, be my guest, says that he uses a product from dvdo.com and has better results. It's probably more expensive. B&H sells it. They call it the Air Cubed wireless HD adapter. I would guess that this is very similar, if not identical, to the Action Tech. There is generally of these things. There's a company in China that makes them, and other people, and then people put their brand on it.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I would look at reviews. These are not inexpensive. These $300 devices. So,
right.
it's not something you just go, oh, well, let me try another one and see if that works. You're not going through walls, right? This is line of sight.
All line of sight. It should be a real simple process.
Now, what's interesting about this DVDO Air Cubed is, in fact, it isn't the same as the Action Tech I see because it's using 60 gigahertz. It's using a different frequency. That's a very high frequency. Might eliminate some of these problems. Wouldn't work unless you were line of sight. So this might be a good choice. They say cable-like reliability and quality. Let me just check and see. It's probably hideously expensive. Amazon has it. DVDO for it's cheaper than the Action Tech.
Oh,
$192. Wow.
And that's the Air Cubed.
Yeah, Air G3. This one says Air G3. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the number. AIR G3-1. And I don't know if it's Air 3 or Air Cubed.
Okay.
From DVDO. Yeah, that might be worth looking at.
I'll take a look at that
sender and receiver is less than the Action Tech. And anybody has a suggestion, that'd be a great place to go to the website, techguylabs.com, and let us know. Maybe we can help Super Dave out and Margie. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks.
Take care. Greg and Glendora, Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Hi, Greg.
Hey, Leo, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Oh, great. I broke one of your main rules. I bought a phone from a shopping channel. I wanted to find out if I did the right thing or not.
Oh, I'm sure you did. What did you buy?
When?
What did you buy?
Oh, I got a Samsung S3 with a Virgin plan.
All right.
And it cost me $245 for the phone, but they gave me a 3-year warranty coverage. Anything happens to it, they'll support me on it.
Good. They better.
But the thing is, I was like, well, it's $45 a month, and I was like, well, I don't know if I'm really doing the right thing.
I don't know either, Greg. I mean, I would give it a try. If it works, then count yourself lucky. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. The phone should be free. That's an old phone. And Virgin Mobile's $45, so I think you got ripped off, frankly. The phone should be free because they don't even sell it anymore. It's a version behind. And this is why I don't recommend the shopping channels. It seemed like such a good deal. But they throw in a lot of stuff that's useless or worthless, like insurance. The $45 a month, that's a normal Virgin Mobile plan. And I bet if you went direct to Virgin Mobile, you get that phone for free. So apparently everybody's saying that there's a home theater geeks with these guys and that they like this 3D VO. So, and Dr. Mom says it's a terrible plan. Yeah, I don't buy stuff on home shopping. I can't think of a case where it would be good. So this is, I didn't know. We interviewed this guy, CHG of DVDO, about wireless HDMI switching. This was 2 weeks ago. I should know. That's great. So Scott Wilkinson so if you're interested in this company, DVDO, 60 gigahertz is interesting. That's an interesting band.
What do you think of the Note 3?
I like it. I think there's a lot of Samsung junk on it. That's my big problem with all of them.
My battery went low, and they sent me a stupid message. I've never seen that before on the phone.
What'd the message say?
Oh, just your battery's low. Is it lost or stolen?
Oh.
And I'm going, what?
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, but it's garbage on it, like you're saying, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, there's too much on it, yeah.
I like the note-taking on it. I think it's great.
Yeah, I'm a big Note fan, Galaxy Note fan, but yeah, I played with the Note 3 and I was a little disappointed by all the cruft.
You're tuned to Premier Channel.
Yeah, I think my review was it's good if you like the Note and you can live with the Samsung stuff.
Well, did you get my little adapters I sent you before your trip?
For what? For SIM?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I did. Thank you very much. Yeah. As it turned out.
We're both taking an ear scratching break.
Time to scratch our ears.
Yeah.
Well, you know these headphones. So has anybody tried the DVDO?
Like a dog.
The S3 should not be $250. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Well, hey, how are you today? Hour 3 of the Tech Guy Show. Yes, indeedy. If you want to talk computers or the internet, smartphones or home theater, digital photography, anything with a chip in it, 8888 Ask Leo. That's the number. 888-827-5536. Totally free in the U.S. or Canada, toll free. But if you're outside the U.S. or Canada, use Skype. It still won't cost you anything. We do get calls from all over the world thanks to the internet. TechGuyLabs.com is the website, too. You'll find the phone number there and also a link to our great chat room so you could participate in the home version of our show. Back to the phones we go. Stephanie's on the line from Arcadia, California. Hi, Stephanie. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Hi, Leo. Thank you for taking my call.
Thanks for hanging on.
Sure. I'm shopping for my husband for a Christmas gift, and I'm looking at the Sling Box, the Sling Media, Sling Box 350, and the Sling Box 500. I see that there's quite a difference in price, more than double for the 500.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, really, what is the difference for a regular consumer on using these? Is it worth it?
The biggest difference between the 350 and the 500 is the 350, you have to have a wired internet connection next to the TV. So if your cable modem or DSL modem is somewhere else, the 500 has Wi-Fi built into it. So you can use it anywhere that Wi-Fi works. Do you know if your cable modem's near the TV?
Yes, it is.
All right. That's the first one. So you could use the less expensive one. The other difference is that it's easier to hook up the less expensive one, the 350, rather harder because it doesn't have HDMI. Now, some people that's actually desirable. The Slingbox 500 has an HDMI connector, so it's high def 1080p. But I'll have to be honest, and I should say that they are a sponsor, so we love them. But I'll be honest, because you're going to be, what these allow you to do is watch your TV, your home theater system, anywhere you can get online. That means your DVR, that means anything connected, your satellite box, your cable box. But you're going over the internet. So if you have really good connection somewhere, then the 500 will give you a better picture. But oftentimes the connection, the internet connection, is really the limiting factor. So the 350 is fine, if you're in a hotel and so forth. Does your husband travel a lot?
No.
Does he spend a lot of time in the bathroom?
Yes.
So this way he can go anywhere in the house with a tablet and watch the home theater system. And so boy, that's a difficult choice. There are more features in the 500, as you might expect. And I would say the 500 if he wants high def in the bathroom.
Okay.
All right. But if he doesn't mind so much the quality, and again with the internet, sometimes you don't get high def anyway, then the 350 is fine. 350 is just the older version. The 500 is newer and has the big difference is an HDMI connector for your home theater system, and it has Wi-Fi. That's the really big difference. As long as your cable modem's right there and you have a router right there, 350 is probably fine for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome, Stephanie. And I hope your husband isn't listening right now.
Yes.
He'll be surprised. Thanks, Stephanie. Rick in Huntington Beach, California. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Hey, Leo.
Hey, Rick. Come on over to the phone and talk to me.
I have some router questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
At the office, we have outdated internet. We have a DSL with COVID with a meager, underpowered, and overpriced.
Yes.
So
time to upgrade.
We have a VPN to a vendor, and we have.
Is this for your business? It sounds like this is for your business.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah. Okay.
So we have it's a business setup. So we have a 16 IPs, 13 usable, and on our own router, going to DSL COVID, and then we have a T1 on a VPN to our vendor, or to one vendor.
Right.
Okay? So because AT&T Ubers came to our building. Instead of paying hundreds of dollars, we only can pay $60 and get 6 megs instead of one.
This is what's happened, and it's got to be very frustrating to companies like Covad. The problem is Covad signed you up for 3 years probably or more, right?
No, we are in an old contract that is month to month, actually.
Ah, hallelujah. So I had the same thing. In the old days, you'd sign up for a T1, which was at the time a blazingly fast 1.5 megabits per second. It is symmetric, so that's nice. It has fast upstream. That's important for your VPN to your provider, but or to your customer. But it's expensive, and what happened is that the DSL got faster and faster, and the phone companies started to say, hey, we can undercut the price on these T1s and give you better service for less money. Now, there's some differences. It's going to be asymmetric probably, right?
It is, but we don't care in this case.
It's still so much faster.
Well, yeah, even the low side is faster than we get now.
And I bet you were paying $1,000 a month for that T1.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. XO still wants to charge $300 per T1, so on a bonded T1 they want $600.
Yeah, a month.
Just getting a meager 3 megs.
A month.
Anyway, my question is, what happens? Even though it's a Uber's business account, they just, and we deal with business customer service, they just want to set up your internet and wash their hands after.
Well, and there you go. That's that. Okay, so get ready, because that's the difference. You're not paying enough money for them to spend a lot of time with you. When you're paying $600 a month, Covad's going to be nice to you, spend some time with you. You'll have a rep that you can talk to, and you might get better customer support.
Right.
Get ready, because AT&T, their idea of a good time is to flip the switch and collect the money.
Exactly. But so the question is,
you'll also, and I don't know how important this is to you, but you'll have a new IP address. Do you use all those 13 IP addresses?
Yeah, we do, but that's not the problem. We are, we know how to. We will change all the IPs on our boxes and all that. Oh, the problem is twofold. They gave us a modem router, which is an MVG 510 or 511 Motorola, which, from all practical purposes, AT&T apparently stripped off the VPN capability.
They may have. So you got to look in your agreement and make sure you can still do VPN, because, you're given there's a reason why you pay $600. Now, I think that if you look at pure bandwidth, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But there's a service level agreement that you've made with Covad that guarantees certain performance. They may guarantee VPN. You might have to look in your AT&T contract to see if they may not allow VPN for $60 a month. I bet they do, and I imagine you can change that setting. But this is what's happening is you're getting a more speed for less money, a lot less money, but you may be getting fewer services too.
Well, they don't care if you put a VPN, but it looks like the way they strip down the firmware on that router.
Well, you want to see if you can use a third-party router then.
Right. So can I put?
Well, it's up to them. You have to.
One of our techies said is that you can put a second router, like a Socris.
You could put a second router, but the AT&T's router will still block VPN if they're blocking that port.
No, they don't block it. They just.
Oh, I see. They don't support it.
Router that they don't block the port particularly. They just won't initiate a VPN session with the vendor.
Oh, yeah. You put a VPN device on the other end. Yeah.
Okay, so that's one question, and the other is, it doesn't seem clear that you can do a pass-through, so we can let our router handle all the IPs. When you are doing DHCP, then there's no problem. You put the AT&T router on IP pass-through, and let your router handle all the NATing, and that's it. But
I understand it's a little more complicated. I can't. Unfortunately, we're running out of time, and I think this is one for your IT guy. Frankly, Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Yeah. The audience is already glazed over because they're going, what? Huh? B, I can't solve this for him. And he sounds like he has an IT guy. He's got a guy who's saying, oh, no, we can put a VPN server on there. Maybe he is the IT guy, huh? Oh, it's so expensive. And in most cases, they're just doing DSL anyway, right? Right. Well, that's what you're paying for is the SLA, and you're paying for the support and, the downtime and all that. We got fiber from Comcast. That's 150 megabit symmetric. It's much cheaper than T1. And, and then we have SonicNet gives us some ADSL2, and I think we have another provider, but the main one we're using is Russell knows all that is the Comcast.
We had crab in Santa Rosa last night.
Oh, yum! Yeah, we had crab for dinner last night too. It was good. Dungeness crab, love that.
It was at a Chinese place.
Yeah. The best is we have there's a Vietnamese crab place in San Francisco. That's amazing.
Oh, down the
Yeah, it's called Than Long. Oh yeah, the Lumixes are great. I'm a very big fan. Leo Laporte, the tech guy, 8888 Ask Leo. Heather Hammond, the phone ranger. I like the hip movement there with the Elvis song. That's very nice. Well done.
The ball really helps out.
Heather and I both sit on
blue suede balls.
Blue suede. Oh, jeez. We're only going to get in trouble here if we just continue on this conversation. Right. Should I go to Neil?
Yes.
Yes. Neil in Brea, California. You're next. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Neil.
I am getting very, very frustrated with something. I am visually impaired, and about 10, 12 years ago, I purchased some software called Dragon Naturally Speaking.
Ah, yes.
And I was not happy at all with it, and when the sales rep called and tried to get me on a newer version, I said, no, it's junk, and I'm not going to do it. And they talked me into it, and every single version since then has been much, much better. And currently it is a very, very good voice recognition software. My frustration comes where I have tried every way possible to me, or in my thoughts, to tell them that there are certain small enhancements that they can make to the software, which would greatly help those that are visually impaired. Such things as being able to find a way to distinguish between homophones, would and would, capital and capital, whatever. And because once I dictate it, it sounds fine reading it back, but I have no way to tell how that works.
Oh, yeah, you can't tell, can you?
No.
Yeah.
And I can't tell what punctuation.
So, unfortunately, Dragon was purchased by a company called Nuance. And Nuance has purchased everybody else in the business practically, too. And as a result, they are so dominant in this field that I think they don't really care, to be honest with you. For a long time, I felt like they were very poor caretakers. I'm glad to hear that they are improving Dragon, because Dragon was the best, and probably still is the best. Not perfect, but probably is still the best. What Dragon does, it's a system where you dictate to it and it types. And I know a lot of people, my friend David Pogue, who is a writer, wrote all those missing manual books. He would use Dragon to do his indexes because he wanted to do it fast. He'd be reading through the book. It's at page 32, Windows 9. Page 37, Macintosh, whatever. And he used Dragon to do that. But my experience with Dragon has always been, it's like 90, 95% accurate. And I just find it so difficult to correct the 5%. I just don't use it. Nowadays, because of Siri on the iPhone and Google Voice dictation on the Android phone, many of us have a similar experience. And you have the same experience with what you're talking about, homonyms, words that sound the same but are spelled differently. Would, W-O-O-D, and W-O-U-L-D. And from the way you say it, of course, it sounds the same. It's only in context that you know whether you mean how much wood could a woodchuck chuck or how much would a woodchuck chuck. Context tells you, but computers are stupid. They do their best, but they're basically just, souped up boxes of rocks. And so they don't really understand what a woodchuck is or whether it could chuck wood or what kind of wood it would be and whether the wood in a woodchuck is a wood or a wood. This is a classic problem. Now, of course, Dragon is not designed specifically for blind people. It is designed for anybody who wants to dictate. But you're right. You raise a really interesting point. Those of us who are sighted can see it use W-O-O-D when we want it to use W-O-U-L-D and can fix that. But if you're not sighted, you don't know. I take it your question is how can I get through to Nuance, the makers of Dragon? Frankly, good luck. Because I think they're a very big company, and I'm not sure how responsive they are. And I can't really help you do that. I don't talk to them either. English is a hard language, and one of the things that makes it hard is homonyms. Imagine how hard this is for a computer to do. My suspicion is that Nuance is rapidly going to be left in the dust. Both Google, Microsoft, and other companies are doing a lot of research on this speech-to-text. I think big advances are coming. The Chinese are also doing it. If you think about it, the Chinese have a huge amount to benefit from this because of the way the Chinese written language works. It is not like our Roman alphabet where you spell out a word. They don't have the problem of wood and wood. In fact, there are no, well, I guess there are homonyms, but there's no letters. They're all pictograms. They're pictures. Although if I think about it, Chinese has other issues. I mean, the word ma can mean horse or mother depending on how you say it. Ma or ma. And so that's a whole additional layer of difficulty for voice recognition software. Chinese are working on this very hard, though, because, as you might imagine, a typewriter is difficult in China. They're very limited in the character sets they can use. This is going to be something that's going to make some rapid advance. And you see Siri and you see Google doing this. And I think because of that, I wouldn't worry so much about Nuance. I don't think, as good as Dragon has gotten, I don't think they've got the scientists anymore. I think Google's hired them up. I think others have hired them up. In fact, I know the guy who created Dragon is now at Google in charge of their voice recognition. So I guess the answer, it will get better in the long term. It's an interesting particular question, though, that you have. Justin in Bernie, California. I don't know what the answer is to it. Hi, Justin. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
How you doing, Leo?
I'm great. How are you?
First, I want to say two things. First, your Heather Hammond is probably the best phone operator I've ever dealt with.
Well, and, I agree 100%.
And secondly, I was one of the few that forged Black Friday.
You went out in the world and faced the tasers and worst crazed housewives of Black Friday? You?
Well, yeah, and honestly, I was in the market for a new iPad, and due to your friend and colleague at iMore, Renee Ritchie, told me about Target offering a $100 gift card. So
that's a good deal. I mean, you don't usually see a discount on iPads. In fact, I know that Target's not paying any less for that iPad.
Oh, you know it.
They just want to get you in the door, so that's that's good.
Exactly. Well, my question starts out. I was burned a while back ago. I have a number of movies and TV shows I bought off iTunes, and I bought a Roku box, and I used Plex thinking I could stream them.
Copy protection, my friend.
Yeah. So I got a little frustrated with that. So from then on, I was just like, I have a whole wall of Blu-ray movies. I'm just buying the hard disk and ripping them. My question to you, is there any way that I can stream these over the internet?
Oh, yeah. Once you've ripped it, it no longer has any copy protection on it.
Yeah. But is it possible, say, if I was like in another state or out of the area, not on my home network?
Sure. Same way you do it on your home network. You'd have to run a server, and you'd have to log into that server remotely. It's probably non-trivial, but you could totally do it. Absolutely, you could do it. Once you got it on a hard drive, the sky's the limit. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
So someone wanted to call and talk movies with you, but he hung up.
Oh, what movie did he like?
Dune.
Dune?
He said he was rewatching
the David
Dune.
Lynch Dune?
and that it was the Citizen Kane of steampunk.
Yeah, the art direction in Dune was quite amazing. I should give it another chance.
You watch it again, then you can discuss it with him if he calls back. So he hung up.
I should give it another chance.
Sounds
I haven't
really
seen it since it came
but
out.
I'm going to put it through because I think you would like
awesome. It's really good, man. That Dune.
And I ran
was
it
a
by
fan of the
Slanina, and he
books.
looked at me like, "Duh, of course it is the Citizen Kane of steampunk."
Really?
And I'm like, "I'm
Wow.
sorry, man.
Well, it is David Lynch.
I don't live in this world."
It is David Lynch. I will get. You know what? I think I owe it another. I'm gonna get the. I will get it. Let me see if I can get it on Amazon.
I need to queue it up, I guess. Where's my Netflix account?
I love the movie Dune.
I was watching old 30 Rocks last night. God, that's funny.
A great show.
Damn it.
That's a
and I had
great
I'm such a Liz Lemon, I realized, because she's at some singles thing and she drags along Jack's
You are
Paramore.
not a Liz Lemon.
Okay, but she's at this singles thing and she looks at this guy. She's like, beard. God knows what's in there. Tattoos. Promiscuous. Like she's discounting people. And then she goes, t-shirt tucked into jeans. It's like, okay.
That's a deal breaker, ladies. So it's $7.99 for the Dune Blu-ray. $8.
Do you need to watch it on Blu-ray?
Well, of course you have to watch it on Blu-ray. What are you, nuts? If it's indeed the steam... Yeah, see, the problem is I loved the books, Dune books.
For all the good steampunkiness
And
to
I don't
come
know
through?
how you get that into 2 hours. Wow, it's cheap. Okay, so let's see. Is it on Amazon Instant Video? Let's see. Is it on Amazon Instant Video? Dune. Duck Dynasty is. Well, see, I'd buy it on. Well, it's cheaper to get the DVD than to get it on Amazon Instant Video. It's $15. But do I want another Blu-ray disc? Is the question.
Yeah, you do.
I could stream it for $4. Is it on net? Oh, it might be on Netflix. So here's where you go. CanIStream.it. Let's see where Dune lies. It is available on Amazon, Apple, Vudu, YouTube. It's everywhere you want to be.
Get the director's cut, someone says.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Yeah, Netflix has it. So I got it for free on Netflix.
I think I'm with Brian W. on this.
Get it for free?
No, it's as bad now as it was in 1980.
Yeah, I think it was. But all I remember is the guy, the spice guy, you know, the navigator in his spice tube, spice tank. I remember that. Like it would look like Jabba the Hutt. Ooh, there's a 3-disc director's cut. That's what I need, Bad Luck 13. Oh, if you're going to get Dune, spend $35.
Well, we know what to get some little boy for Christmas now.
Wow, 3 discs. What the hell could be on the 3 discs?
Good Lord.
Maybe I'll get the used one for $9.72.
I don't think I want to watch a teeny bit of it on YouTube.
Tell you what, I'll watch it on Netflix, and if I like it, I'll buy the disc. Look who's in it. I didn't know all these people were in it. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. 8888 Ask Leo. That's the phone number. And let us move along to Justin. Oh, did we just do Justin? Yes, we did. Let's go to Ruth in Anaheim. Hi, Ruth. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Hello, Leo.
Hello, Ruth.
I have a a question about 2 cameras. I do have now the here it is, Coolpix.
Nikon.
9500.
Oh, that's a classic.
A Nikon, yeah. Okay. Is that supposed to be a good one? Because I'm having a little trouble with it. The trouble I'm having, it's so light, and that's the reason I got it, because it was so small. I'm having trouble keeping the camera steady as I take pictures.
Oh, yeah. That can be a problem when they're really light. Yeah.
Yes, and also because of that, I was looking at the the Canon EOS Rebel SLI.
Yeah, that's a nice camera.
Because I don't want something too heavy either, because that was a problem before, too.
The Coolpix also suffers because of its compact size, not merely the weight, but there's nowhere really good to grab it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like a bar of soap.
Yeah, exactly. Only
So
even less heavy than that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but I'm thinking it's not merely the lightness; it's also the that it's not. It's not. There's nothing to grip onto.
Well, there's just a little teeny weeny place that you're supposed to grip.
Yeah, there's that little ridge on the front, right?
Yeah, about an eighth of an inch tall.
Yeah, I think we could do better. There are a lot of cameras out there.
It takes good pictures, but I have like I say, it's trouble keeping the camera still.
So, something a little bit. If it were? I don't really think you want a heavier camera. I think you want maybe a bigger camera with a better grip on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I want good pictures, though. Of my, I take a lot of pictures.
You know what the good news is now? The cameras are so good that you'd be hard pressed not to get great images out of them. So I think you're going to be happy with the images, but I think both Canon and Nikon make very small pocketable cameras. They don't want to have ridges or bumps on them because they want you to be able to just slip it into your pocket and pull it out. So it's a little bit of that's a market they're trying to hit. And I think you could, of course, get something that screws into the bottom of it that you could hold that would give you a little bit better grip on it.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can also maybe get a better camera. You want to stay in the Nikon family?
I don't really care. I just want something that takes good pictures.
Yeah, they all will.
Easy to hold for me. I'm a senior, so I have problems with my hands holding on to it really well.
Yeah, I completely understand. I'm just seeing if the chat room has any. I think what you want is one with a grip, where your hand goes, your left hand. It actually often, professional cameras frequently have this. They have indentations for your fingers. If you have a grip, then it is really a great thing to grab. Now, I could tell you what I've been using that I love is the Sony RX100. Now, it's a little pricey. I don't think that has enough of a grip for you. I'm going to look at some other ones. Let's see. Chat room, do you have any other choices for a camera with a nice little grip? How about the Fuji Fine Pix? I think some of those have pretty nice grips on them. I'm just looking at, for instance, and it's not very expensive, the Fine Pix S4800. It's a similar camera. It's a compact camera, but it has a grippy thing on the left that you hold, and it won't slip out of your hand so much, Canon's SX40 and SX50, also excellent, SX40 and SX50. I would go into a camera store, SX40 and SX50. Don't order these online.
Okay.
Go into a Best Buy or a camera store and hold them. The Fujifilm Fine Pix is $150. It's very affordable at Best Buy. It's inexpensive. You're going to get great images. If you want to spend a little bit more, you can. They have a little bit more expensive cameras, but all the Fuji cameras have grips. And I think that's what you need. I don't think it's the weight. I think it's the grip that really is going to make a difference for you.
I see.
All right.
Okay.
So go into the camera store, and say, I want a grippy camera because it's slippery. What you got is a great camera, but it's like a bar of soap because they want to be able to have people pocket it. But that's not your problem. You don't want to pocket it. You want to hold it.
Correct.
Yeah. Hey, and I think you'll be very happy with the results of almost any camera out there. They're very good these days. Very, very good.
Oh, and the Fine Pix is.
I like the Fujifilm. It's from Fuji. Fine Pix. I think those are excellent. Canon SX40 or SX50. Also very, very nice cameras that are easy to hold. And I think any camera store will have either of these. And you can say, hey, I'd like to take a look at the SX.
How do they compare with the picture quality of the Coolpix, the one I've already got?
Very similar.
I see.
Very similar.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So don't go heavier. Just go grippier.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So there wouldn't be much difference between this more expensive one, the Canon SLI.
You could get a Canon SLR. I think that's too heavy. I don't think you really do want that because I think it's too heavy. I think you want a better grip, but not a heavier camera.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not merely that it's light; it's that it's shaped like a bar of soap. Well, of course you can't hold on to it. Of course you can't hold on to it. If you want to stay with if you like Nikon, and you want to stay with a Nikon, the Coolpix 520, I'm told, has a nice grip. Let's take a look at that one. That has a little bit more of a grip, and it'll be very similar in terms of quality.
I see. Okay.
It has a 42x zoom, so you can stand well away from the grandkids and still get pictures. Actually, that's helpful because they don't. Grandma comes up and takes a picture in their face. They get squirrely, but if you're way off in the distance, you can get some really good spy shots.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
Thanks, Ruth. I appreciate it. Take care. Gary and Merced, Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Hi, Gary.
Hi, Leo. I enjoy your show. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
The UMA for computer for phones.
Yeah.
They have a Wi-Fi adapter that goes on the UMA device. Theoretically, if my mom's in an assisted living that has free Wi-Fi, if I bring that in there and get it hooked up, I'm gleaning off the Wi-Fi for her to have a phone. Is that
it's hard to predict. Depends on how good the Wi-Fi is in this assisted living home. And my guess is it wouldn't be super great. UMA is great. I like UMA. OOMA. The idea is it's a peer-to-peer voice over internet product. But the problem is not the UMA. The problem is the Wi-Fi in the home.
Okay.
Because it's just unpredictable. I would say in general they're probably not providing a lot of bandwidth. And it may come and go. Wi-Fi also drops, and sometimes this could be more frustrating for an elder than not having it at all, because it's like I'm on the phone and it drops out. I talk to my mom on Skype all the time. It makes her nuts. Makes her nuts.
do too.
You know what I mean? So what I'd go and do is go in there with a tablet or something that you have that's Wi-Fi and a Wi-Fi tester and just take a look. I bet you it's not very good Wi-Fi.
Okay, thank you for your advice, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for the call. Dwayne in Oxnard, California. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Hey, thanks for taking the call. I just purchased a MyCloud Western Digital device. I'm looking for a way to either mirror or clone all of the user documents to this so that they're available on this cloud.
So the user documents from where? You want to use the MyCloud to clone your PC? Yeah.
Yeah.
So the MyCloud is also a USB drive.
No, it's the network attached.
Oh, it doesn't have USB? I thought it did.
It has a USB, but I believe only for the purpose of...
Okay, hang on and we'll help you. I have to take a break. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Huh. I thought it was just a USB drive with the NAS capabilities. Let's see here. Oh my God, look at that. This Amazon is getting faster and faster. It's hard to believe that I thought about it and it's already been delivered.
The future is here.
All right, I'll take it home and I'll watch it on the Xbox One. I do notice that David Lynch's name is nowhere to be seen on this movie. In fact, I don't think Sting's name is on it anymore. Oh, yeah, it's David Lynch there.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow, Amazon Super Prime. An Alan Smithy film. So let's look here. Let's look at this Western Digital here. This MyCloud here. Features. It's got USB 3 on it. Sure be nice if you could connect it the first time, right? Yeah. Oh, it's a master. Got it. That's what he was saying. It's got USB 3, but it's as a master, it cannot be hooked up to a computer. So what he wants really is a fast way to load this thing up and then make it available through the cloud. I guess that's it. I guess that's true. I mean, you could just hardwire it first. It's got gigabit Ethernet, so that's going to be fairly fast. John, did you go home and get this, or you actually have it in your desk? You're so funny. You ran home and got it.
Oh.
A place beyond your dreams. A movie beyond your imagination. How bad could it be? You can't imagine.
Your own private hell.
I love this book so much. I read this to Abby when she was little.
Aw.
Yeah. There's Sting as... Who is he supposed to be? That's obviously Paul Atreides, right? And then who is... That looks like... what's her name?
Thea Rabat.
Ah. So he's the bad guy.
Sounds like you guys need to have a Dune special.
A Dune special. Ooh.
Tune in
It'd be
Thursday.
so much fun if we could sit and watch Dune.
Do a
Yeah.
Do a Mystery Science 3000 kind of
Yeah,
thing.
with Dune. Oh, yeah. That'd be really fun.
And bring lots of stuff to throw at the screen.
Do you think there's a riff tracks of Dune? Probably not. They have to license it. Really? Leo Laporte, the Tech Guy, the last little bit of the Tech Guy show for this weekend. We were talking to Dwayne in Oxnard. He's purchased something from Western Digital they started doing a few months ago called the MyCloud. Good idea. It's their version of network-attached storage. You're right. I looked into it, and I see that the USB port on the MyCloud is only for attaching additional hard drives to the MyCloud.
Yeah.
So your question is, how do I copy a massive amount of data to the MyCloud quickly by direct connecting it to my computer? You could do it via the Ethernet. It is gigabit Ethernet. So if your computer has gigabit Ethernet, you could just plug it in.
Well, that's not so much I'm looking for. I'm looking to have this thing always mirror or be a clone of my user documents.
Oh, I see.
So that they're available from the cloud.
So, like Dropbox, kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that was the whole point of this. You have to copy files over?
Well, I'm not finding much of a way to do that. You know, the only way you can move the only way I figured to move the documents folder is then also to have them indexed via being available offline all the time, which takes.
It is visible on your desktop, right, on Windows. You can see the MyCloud as if it were
another drive.
Another drive. So it's just a matter of getting a sync tool. Microsoft offers a free one called Sync Toy to automatically keep that in sync with your internal hard drive.
Sync Toy?
Sync Toy. SYNCTOY. It's free from Microsoft, and it does exactly that. It synchronizes. I'm surprised that the Western Digital does not include software that does that. It seems like a fairly obvious use for it. But
I'm looking around and I'm not finding it.
Yeah. Maybe somebody who's listening knows. But Sync Toy will do just fine. You run it on your Windows machine, and you say, I want these folders to be duplicated on this drive. And as long as the drive is mounted and can be visible, it'll just be running in the background all the time. You change a file on one folder or add a file to one folder, and it'll add it to the other folder.
Well, that's exactly what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Mike NB, who has used the MyCloud in our chat room, says that the MyCloud folder, the idea is that you do have a MyCloud folder on your desktop, and if you used that as your document folder, it would do this automatically. But SyncToy is more flexible. You can specify whatever you want to keep copied. I also use now SyncToy is free from Microsoft. I use a program called Second Copy from Centered Systems. Does the same thing. It's a shareware program. You have to pay for it after a while, but it has a few additional features. All of these will do it. And, you know, Western Digital is not known for the quality of their software, so it's probably not a bad idea to have a third-party application. SyncToy is free from Microsoft. It's basic, but it gets the job done. If you want something with a few more features, then you want to look at Second Copy from Centered Systems. Either one of these will do the same thing. Jeremy, Studio City, California. Leo Laporte, the Tech Guy. Hi, Jeremy.
Hi, Leo. I'm trying to figure out if there's any way that you can run Minecraft on a Chromebook.
Wouldn't that be cool? Minecraft requires Java, and the Chromebook does not let you run Java standalone. So unless somebody writes and maybe they have, a Java extension that will run in Chrome, a Chrome extension for Java or for Minecraft, according to Mojang, the makers of Minecraft, in order to play Minecraft on a Chromebook, you have to root your device so that you can access the Linux kernel. Run Linux on there, probably with something like Cronut. And not Cronut. That's not the name of it. I have a Cronuts on the brain. But you'll put Linux on your Chromebook, and you could do it that way. But if you want to keep it as a Chromebook, we're just going to have to. What is it called? It's not Cronut. We're going to have to wait till somebody writes a extension. I mean, I think that'd be doable. Does it come with Java? I'm trying to think if the Chromebook has Java in there. Anyway, there are ways to do it. You'd have to put Linux on it, basically. What is the name of that Linux app that lets you put Linux on your Chromebook? Come on, it's not Cronut. It's something like that. Chat room, you help me out. Help me out here. Anyway, yeah, Jeremy, that's it. And that's one of the reasons the Chromebook is cool, but it's limited. It can only do whatever Chrome can do. And and that is not apparently play Minecraft. Aaron in Glendale, California. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Hey, Leo.
Hey, I'm great. How are you?
Great. I love you. I've been a fan for a long time.
I love you too, man.
Anyway, I don't have very much time. I had just updated my Galaxy S3 with the update that came out, I think, on Thanksgiving Day. And it seems like my battery's lasting like
crouton,
like way less amount than it had before. And I wonder if could be the update or if anyone else is having this problem.
How old is it?
How old is my phone or the update?
Yeah, the phone.
Like a year, maybe like 8 months.
Okay, that's not old enough to have battery life issues. Because batteries, you can only charge them a certain number of times. And it is true after about 2 years, all of our phones are going to stop being charged. But the S3 isn't old enough. And it started happening with the update, huh?
I feel like it has. I also feel like it sort of had some like little buggy things that I'm sure are probably going to be fixed in the future, like some lag when you go to your lock screen. And
is it an official upgrade, or did you use a third party like CyanogenMod to do it?
Well, I woke up and it told me. I think it came.
So it's official. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it woke up and said, "Hey, you've got an update," that's official.
Right, exactly.
So Dr. Mom in our chat room says she's had the same problems, and you've got to turn on the power saving mode.
Oh, okay. And that's it?
That's it.
Okay.
Chat room to the rescue. Dr. Mom to the rescue, as she often is.
Hey, thank you, Leo.
It's apparently a known bug.
Okay, cool.
That's the problem with system updates. Sometimes they make things worse.
Yes. Okay. Also, enjoy Dune. It's slow at first, but you can get into it if you're patient and in the right mood.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. We're talking off the air about what many consider the worst science fiction movie of all time, and others consider a classic. That is the David Lynch movie remake of Dune, the incredible Frank Herbert science fiction novel. And I guess you were talking about it with John, Heather, and he said
First
it is
a caller, actually.
Oh, caller.
Wanted to discuss it with you.
Ah.
And I kind of ran it by him. I'm like, what do you think? And he was like, whoa. It's amazing. It's a classic. I don't know.
It's very polarizing. There are those who love it and those who hate it, and I don't think there's many in between. But I will watch it tonight. I'll report back. And as I said, it's not Cronut. If you want to put Linux in your Chromebook, it's actually something that was written by the folks at Google. It's called Crouton. It's another starchy food product.
The starch group.
You can see how I'd confuse Crouton and Cronut.
For sure.
Cronuts, and I'm dying to have one, but you have to go to New York City and wait in line, and it's a not guaranteed you'll be able to have one. Cronuts are those donuts made out of croissant dough that you can only get at one bakery in New York City, and accept no substitutes. People frequently send me things they call cronuts or bring me giant donuts, but that is not a cronut. Heather brought me a giant donut yesterday for my birthday. That's the biggest donut I ever saw.
Oh, it's amazing.
We are out of time, my friends. It has been a jolly, jolly day. I thank you for being here. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, those of you in the U.S. If you're in Canada, I hope your Thanksgiving was great last month. And I hope you have a wonderful Hanukkah, and we will be back next week to talk tech with you all and help you buy your stuff. I like to say help you choose it, help you use it, help you abuse it, and then help you lose it. That's the entire life cycle of your toys, your tech toys. That's right here. Please join me each and every weekend. We have a website. It's called techguylabs.com. That's where all the show notes are, all the links I mentioned. Thanks to James DeRuvo, who scribbles while I talk, and to Josh Windish, who then takes the scribbles and adds audio and video and turns it into a very nice website with questions and answers and your comments to techguylabs.com. Thanks to our moderators in chat who do such a good job making that a family-friendly place and do not get paid, except with my love and affection. To Dan and Brad and Canuck and Cheeto and Can We Bowl, please, CWBP, who actually went to Yale. And look, this is what's happened. Houdini 7, Knox Harrington, Leggett, Life's a Zoo, Marmot Mick, Night Flyer, Rubicant. There's too many mods. I can't. Scooter X, Sly Ferret, TechZen, TTK, all of you, thank you. Thanks to Heather Hammond, the Phone Ranger, for doing such a dynamite job with all the callers. And to our musical director, Mr. Nathan Staten, who keeps the tunes flying. I'm Leo Laporte. I'm the Tech Guy. Have a great Geek Week. We'll see you right back here next time. Bye-bye. Well, that's it for the Tech Guy Show for today. I'm Leo Laporte. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget, the Tech Guy is just the tip of the iceberg. We do nearly 30 shows now on the Twit Netcast Network, and you'll find them all at twit.tv. We talk about Windows on Windows Weekly, Macintosh on MacBreak Weekly, iPad on iPad Today. You get your daily dose of tech news from Tech News Today, and our weekly roundtable show, This Week in Tech. It's all at twit.tv. And I'll be back next time with another great Tech Guy podcast. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.